You are now listening to the Old Head, New Head podcast with your hosts, Eric Iberg and Ethan Schaefer.
Goddamn kids.
Shut up, old man!
Fucking 40 degrees today, buddy. Thursday, last Thursday? 92.
Yeah, we are here in a very, very rainy government camp right now. And I'm missing Mammoth, I gotta say that.
Well, you just need one of those days like, it's Emmett we're talking to? How do we say his name? Emmett. Emmett, well, I saw an interview with him on TikTok with Chit Chat Bars, and they got the first sunny day ever. So maybe you'll get the Chit Chat Bar Emmett day tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah, it is. It's a tough outlook for this week. Really, really bumming on the weather. But I'm stoked on today. And why don't we tell the folks what you're smoking on before we get into anything?
Yeah. Gotta give thanks. The good old Ross Jacob ganja farmer here in Minnesota. He takes care of my THC needs, my CBD needs, fucking everything organic, everything outdoor. It's amazing. You can check out Ross Jacob on the Instagram. Hit him up if you need a fucking something to build a grow room or something. Get the seeds, whatever you need. Ross Jacob. Big up yourself. Oh, then I always got to thank people that let me roll my Ross Jacob shit up. Blazy Susan, man. Blazy Susan. Unlimited papers, man. They are amazing. So give thanks to them as well. You drinking this morning at 9 a.m. on the Pacific?
We'll see. The good part about being in Mount Hood is you're one step closer to Seattle, where the Rainiers are at. I got the double stacked Rainiers right now. But I'll tell you this. Today's my birthday. And last night, we celebrated a little bit. Perhaps a little too hard. So I'm hurting.
That's pretty impressive. It's 9 a.m. for not even yet.
Yeah. It's 8:50 right now in the morning. And we went to Charlie's. We did a little tour of the town last night. So that was good. But shout out Rainier. If I'm getting thirsty throughout the show, I'll be sipping up on this. But I got them with me. What else we got?
Let's go through all our shit. You know what I want to do right now?
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to everyone that's donated.
Yeah.
It's been so fun. Like, I just want to, some of these people, man, like ABM fucking hooked up a couple bucks today. You know, who else did I see that these are just the people I know I'm calling out. Marco Niedermeyer. You know who Marco is? Marco's a co-founder of Down Days out fucking in Germany. He's fucking the shit. Kim Boberg, Unicorn, Patty Graham, man, fucking super legend. Fucking Unicorn's mom, Cassavon, my wife, Walter Wood. It goes on and on and on and on and on. I'm so stoked, man. Even if it's $1, give thanks, guys. Appreciate it a lot.
It's so sick. We should still have the GoFundMe up at this time. Link will be in the bio. And yesterday, while we were partying, celebrating the birthday, I got a great text from Mr. Tall T Dan. He goes, "Yo, what's your Venmo?" Hit him with the Venmo, and instant later, $333 sent right over. So shout out to Dan.
The triple digit number.
Yeah, Dan is the truth. So shout out to Dan. I think he might be our biggest donator so far. I think everybody else is in the $100 range.
Yeah, give thanks, Dan. Much appreciated. Big up yourself. I keep hearing your name pop up more and more about everything that you do. So it's fun. I always just knew his name. Never really knew what he did, but he does a lot.
Yeah, he does. Dan probably does more than anybody else. It's pretty sick. You guys should definitely chat with each other at some point. But what else we got in the description? We might have got some merch. We got a museum going on, I think.
Yeah, freeskiandmuseum.com should be up by now, if I'm not horribly lazy, but it's fucking going to be dope when it is there. So check that out. Check out bne.store for all Phil and Henrik's pro model goods. We got that shit there. What else is fun, man? Now we're getting into October now that we're in show 7 or 6. What are we on?
This might be 6. Yeah, this is 6 right now.
Either way, we mid-October, man. So Phil's event's going to come out the second year of the urban video contest. We should have now hopefully announced the Legends category. Just working on a prize right now. I don't know, man. It's going to be a dope ass fall. Armada movie's probably coming out right now.
Yeah. So. Sickness, dude. It's so sick. A lot of good shit to look forward to. All right. Oh, and of course,
so let me ask you, so our guest today, I don't know shit. I've been trying to research, but the only person that has anything is your two planker podcast. So what do you know about Emmett? Because Emmett.
Emmett.
What do you know? So I'm kind of guessing you're 25, 26. So you just turned 26, 27.
Just turned 27 today.
Word. So I saw that they had 10-year anniversary last year of Vishnu. So it'd be 11 years. So you would have been 16. That was kind of like your heyday in the sport. What do you know about this brand? Were they dope when you were a young kid?
It did not break into Connecticut, at least when I was riding around to Ski Sundown, like over a decade ago. I remember, like, at the time, for me, it was like J Skis just came out, so J Skis was huge. But yeah, so I never knew about Vishnu in high school or anything like that. And then I get out of college, start the podcast, and everyone's like, "Yo, you got to talk to this dude Emmett. You got to talk to this dude Emmett." And we had that first podcast, however many years ago, probably 2021.
I didn't watch the first one.
Yep.
So I watched the second one you did, like episode 100.
Yeah.
But what was it in 2021 that you had, and people were saying that you have to interview this guy? What was it?
Emmett just keeps it real. This is the thing with Emmett. He has a great look at the. He has the most popular ski brand in skiing right now. So he's like a cult leader for these kids. Like, if you posted the viewer question on New Schoolers, and you thought the Matei questions were crazy, the Emmett questions would have been going even crazier.
Oh, yeah, they got an opinion over there.
Yeah, they. I think people like him for the most part. His cult followers love him, and he's just a knowledgeable dude within the ski industry. Got some stuff to say, and just does a lot, dude. He does a lot. He sponsors a lot of people, does events, does videos. He's kind of the only one holding it down still for like the kind of the roots of what skiing's all about.
I look at him as like this niche, right? Like, because ON3P, yeah. Like, I kind of look at them as like still like these two guys that are dominating out there in Portland.
Yeah.
And then when I looked at it, I always thought of Vishnu. I was always like, and this is what I'll get into with him. But I'm like, he was the only one that was like urban skiing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the last thing you want to have in your ski line because it has the most customer service.
Yeah.
So to me, I was always blown away that because you care enough, because once you get big enough as a company, you really don't want to make an urban ski anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it really just means like money off your bottom line. So it was really fun to watch that he picked a whole niche of a 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 subgenre and was like, yo, I want the fucking customer service company. So I think it's fun to talk to him about.
No, it'll be sick. And it's really, I'm super happy this ended up working because with all the tariffs, he wasn't going to be able to make skis this year. And so however everything's working right now, it's still all in flux as of the time of this recording. He's able to make it work this season with a limited batch. So after I saw that, I was like, yo, now you got to come on the show. So it's happening. But before, it was not happening. He was bumming.
So we are recording this May 19th, just if people are listening in October, because life can change a lot in 5 months.
Yeah, exactly. So as of right now, we're gonna get Emmett in. I'll send him the link. I'm very excited for the two of you to meet because I interviewed him many times, so this is going to be your chance to meet him and talk to him.
I got questions.
Yeah, all right. I'll send them the link. This is what's up. Yeah, I've interviewed him probably every year since that first interview. So this will probably be fourth time he's been on the show, right?
You know everything, but you still have to go through the background beginning parts.
Yeah, but it's good because he's from the Midwest, so.
Shit, didn't even know that.
Yeah. So this will be good.
Only watch Park City edits of him as trash skier. Or is it skier trash?
I don't even know. Skier trash.
What?
I don't know if you ever went by that moniker.
Oh, yeah, it's a YouTube channel.
Jesus. All right.
That's how I got all my dope shit.
All right, we'll have to investigate it. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if I could live in Mount Hood. This is a little dreary outside right now.
Oh, dude, try September through November or December.
Yeah.
It's just like living under a canopy that just is dark and rainy and wet all the time.
Damn.
And then when it gets windy and those big ass trees fall at night and you don't know where it fell and you just like wake up from the vibrations and then you're just like, yes, I lived. And
Yeah.
some house got crushed by a 400-foot fucking tree.
That's crazy. Yeah. She drew.
I've seen those big trees fall across, was it 15? What's the road that goes up and down the mountain? 30?
Oh, but that main road that you're
Yeah, I saw one go fully across that whole road and like a Jeep got stuck up on it because they didn't see it. But
Oh, we got Emmett joining. What's up, brother?
How's it going? I have a microphone. Can I see if I can get it to connect?
Yeah.
1 second.
All right. Dope
it's
back.
fun. Like, how far away was that backdrop? And then he just disappeared into it. And then he's going to reappear out of it.
Yeah.
Come on. What?
What's up?
I just
My
want a
background-
backdrop like you. It's so dope. You should have introed yourself from behind that and then came into picture.
Hell yeah, that's my ancient ancestor Attila the Hun.
Oh, yeah? Proven bloodline?
No, but I have a Hungarian grandparents. All right, let me see. Let me see here.
Bottom left would be audio input. The little
Check.
sounds good.
Hello?
We could. You sound far away.
Fuck.
It was good before, I thought.
It was good before, yeah.
But a blue microphone would be cool if you could.
How about now?
That sounds better.
Damn, bro.
That sounds perfect, man.
Never mind. Fuck.
You sound just great right now.
All right, my bad. I tried to be professional. It didn't work.
Emmett,
As usual.
this is Iberg. This is
man.
Nice to finally meet you. Hear lots and lots and lots about you from my co-host here, Ethan A.
Nice, man. Nice to meet you too.
I'm stoked we can get to do this, dude. This is a meeting of the minds right now.
I wore my Prince shirt.
So we'll get into it, but like, where are you from originally?
I'm from Milwaukee.
Okay, shit.
Yep.
I can't wait to get into that. What was
man.
the Ward crew? Brian Landgren?
Brian
Third Ward?
Brian Landrigan. Yeah. Third Ward. Yeah.
All right, we'll get into it. But we'll do the normal start first.
Okay.
So, point of this show is I got to be on Two Planker podcast with Ethan like 2 years ago. And when the show was done, like, I was like, man, like, you're like 20 years younger than me.
Mm.
Like, the world's totally different. Like, I don't get what anyone under 26 or even 30 is thinking right now, why they're doing it, what they're doing it for, or whatever. So I'm like, you want to do an old head, new head show where we can talk like to older guys that like created their own lanes, created something, maybe are still in it, or created something awesome from doing their own lane. And then we can talk to all the illest people in the sport that are coming up, and I can ask them why they do what they do.
Nice.
Because it's fun for me to learn, because I see all people like you so passionate and so giving and so creative. And mostly all those people are the ones that don't have a long-term goal, because I never had a long-term goal when I was I didn't create a business plan for a movie or any of this shit.
Yeah.
So it's just, you do it because if you did, you would never do it. But yeah, so that's kind of the point of the show. So that's why we're stoked to have you on. Like, what you've created in the last 11 years, like your brand, like, blew my mind. Like, I didn't even know your name until Ethan.
Wow.
But so like, to know what you were able to create and get it out. So
Thanks,
I just
man.
want to learn your story.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, can't wait.
First time, long time, man. We've been doing this every year for like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, is this my fourth appearance, maybe?
I think so.
So is he the most person you've ever talked to, Ethan?
He's definitely the most I've ever talked to. But OSAP's been on the network for show. OSAP's been on like 3 or 4 times. So one of these two guys is number one. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. This will probably be. I mean, we're going to run through everything that we did with your first episode. So
Okay.
How old are you right now?
I'm 33, turning 34.
Okay, awesome. Then I'll let fucking Ethan take over for the fun background. Let him go.
Dude, I want to I want to find out what's going on with the skis this year. But should we wait till the end for that?
Yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta go basic. I need to learn more.
Okay. We'll dive into more, and then we'll get to the modern shit.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. We'll just start with where you're from, bro. This is good. This is gonna be funny. You're gonna have to take over because I feel like I already.
Okay, so yeah, just give it. I'll do it because Ethan's done this too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you from? Where were you born originally?
I was born in Waukesha, Wisconsin in 1991.
So Waukesha, where the fuck is this? Is it Milwaukee? Is it Madison area?
Milwaukee area, so southeast Wisconsin, yeah.
Okay, so are you closest relation of Sunburst? North Mequon is this close?
Yeah. Sunburst was my home resort, I would say. I had a couple home resorts in Wisconsin. It's cool you know about that. I guess you're a Midwest guy.
One of my good friends is from North Mequon. He was the first guy I saw ever do rodeos in '96. His name's Joe Davies. His dad's a big brain surgeon. He runs
Nice.
a fly fishing guide out of this area nowadays in life.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you know Skier Steve, right?
Yep, very well.
Yeah, I used to ski. Skier Steve used to be like the best skier I knew back in the days at Sunburst. But when he would go there occasionally. I remember him riding there in a Solomon G suit when I was like 12, and I was like, "Damn, bro, that's a cool ass jacket. You look like a vampire."
Okay, so that you're Midwest, so you're not a skier when you're born. Like I'm guessing. So like how first of all, do you have a mom and dad? Are you growing
Yeah,
up?
oh
Do you have
yeah.
any siblings?
I got two older brothers,
Okay. And how much older are they than you?
a lot older. I have a brother that's 13 years older than me, and one that's 9 years older than me.
So what kind are you in urban area? Are you a suburb, like a first, second ring suburb of a city, or are you kind of more farm field after a third ring?
Kind of right in the middle there. I'm from the actual town that I'm from is called Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Oconomowoc for sure.
Dope name.
Yeah, and I'm basically like from the woods
Okay.
type thing.
Because it's not hard to be from the woods once you're like, it's only a 15-minute drive from the center of probably Milwaukee or 20, right?
Yeah, more like 30. I'm pretty far out there.
Okay.
I think people would call it lake country.
How many in your school, how many kids you graduate with?
I went to a pretty big high school. I went to Kettle Moraine High School. I think there's like we're Division One. I think it was like like 1,800 or 2,000 kids.
Oh, damn. Okay. So you're
Yeah.
big. All right, let's go back when you're little. How did you get into skiing originally?
Man, I remember my first time ever skiing was at Spirit Mountain in Duluth.
Okay.
And I went there on a family trip. I remember I was probably 4 or 5 years old. And I distinctly remember uh, being on the bunny hill at Spirit and having to pee really bad, like really having to pee really bad. And but I didn't want to go inside, so I just pissed my pants while skiing, because I didn't want to go in because I was having too much fun. And then they sent me home because of that. They sent me back to the hotel. They called my mom and they were like, "Your son pissed his pants." And I was like,
Well, that's a pretty good core memory because you were only 5.
yeah, I was like, "You guys don't want me to ball. That's fucked. Fuck you guys." But yeah, that was my first time skiing ever was Spear Mountain. Because my brother went to University of Minnesota Duluth. You went to UMD.
Okay.
Go Bulldogs. So I think that's why we were there, I guess. Pretty sure.
Were your older brothers skiers?
Not really. My middle brother was an athlete. He was a football player. Played college football, and then my oldest brother is a jazz musician.
Okay.
So kind of a interesting. I come from, I would say, like a sporting family. Classic Wisconsin type sporting football guys, but also artsy guys. So I'm kind of right in the middle there. You know.
So you went skiing for the first time. No, because sounds more like a holiday than an experience of like, did you get a hook or how'd you go again then? Did you go somewhere closer to home?
So the second time I remember skiing was going with my brother Adrian, who took me to the top of this hill. I talked about it in the first episode I ever did. It was called the Highlands of Olympia.
Okay.
In Delafield, Wisconsin, and it was actually it was a landfill that they covered with dirt, and then they redid the freeway by our house, and then they took the pieces of the freeway and stacked that up, and they put dirt over that. It was 250 vertical feet.
How do you know that?
I just remember that number.
You guys made that shit up.
Yeah, maybe. I just remember I just remember like hearing that, I guess. Maybe I made it up. But it's no longer in existence. But my brother took me there and took me to the top and just said, all right, like, get down.
And you got that.
And that was it. Yeah, man.
And so what? You're like, Mom, buy me a season pass. I'm ready to go to a local hill.
I think so. I think it was just something fun that was my own thing, I guess.
How old are you at this time? This is like the next year after Spirit?
Yeah, something like that. First
So-
grade, second grade.
So you're first, second grader. I didn't get into skiing until sixth grade, fifth grade. So like, and then it was an after school thing for me. But how close are you to your hill?
That one was local. That one was close. It was like 10 minutes away, and the lift tickets were really cheap. It's like $20.
So do you start with lessons, or is it just your after school activity?
More of after school activity. I never took a lesson. I've taken 2 lessons. The one at Spear Mountain, and that I pissed my pants, and then I took another one on a family vacation at Keystone that they kicked me out of because I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't do the pizza.
Motherfucker.
That was probably when I was like 9 or 8 or 9.
How quick did it become like addiction? How quick did it become the funnest thing that you wanted to do it every day?
Pretty quickly. Like I said, I was like a multi-sport kind of I just did a lot of sports. So
Athlete, just a natural athlete.
What were your other sports for fall and summer and spring?
Yeah, I would say my best sport was baseball. I know you played baseball at the U.
No, I tried to. I tried to walk on, then I didn't. Then I went over to Salt Lake Community College as like this thing, and then I couldn't pick up my arm, and then I quit. So I didn't technically play. I tried.
Were you a pitcher?
Yeah.
True. I played probably baseball is my best sport. My favorite sport though is basketball, which I still love basketball to this day.
So did you play basketball all through school?
Yeah, I played until I got to high school. I grew really late, so I was really short until like my junior year of high school.
So if you loved basketball and that was your kind of big thing, like the reason why I quit basketball in 7th or 8th grade was because of skiing, right?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it took all my ski nights away.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. So like, was that how it went when you didn't go into high school and you're like, I want to ski every night?
Pretty much. Yeah.
And at this point, so I'm imagining 16 or so, are you doing anything other than having fun every day? So 16 is what, 93, so 2003 plus 6, 2009 when you're 16, right?
I graduated in 2009, but I have a summer birthday, so it's probably more like 2007-ish.
So are you into any certain element? Do you compete? Do you like go do extra with friends? Is there anything more than just fun every night?
No, I just would go skiing, usually by myself, to be honest. I was the only person that really skied at my high school like that. And so I would just drive to Sunburst by myself and go skiing by myself, which I still like. I still like skiing by myself to this day.
What were you inspired by any outside elements as a youth, like movies, magazines?
I mean,
another skier that was awesome.
Man, I remember. Let's see. I remember reading Freeze magazine for sure, and seeing an ad for the U.S. Open of free skiing in Freeze magazine, brought to you by Nature Valley. So that was my first thing that I ever saw, where I was like, "Oh, there's a whole world surrounding this activity that I like," you know?
So you never saw a local guy first. Like there wasn't some guy that was just ill that grabbed his skis, flipped a certain way, or anything that was at your hill, or when you. I don't know. I'm just trying to imagine. It sounds like you have no outside influence. Well, you're.
Very little outside influence, honestly.
And I ask this because if we're looking in 2008, there's so much media. X Games is at its pinnacle with Simon and Tanner at the end. The movies that are out are the biggest budgets ever in twin tip skiing. And so because I imagine
those, for sure, but I'm trying to think before then. I'm trying to think like the first things I ever did regarding like the culture of skiing was Free's magazine, and then going to Barnes and Noble and buying Freeskier magazine at Barnes and Noble when I was like 12 or 13, probably. And then the first media I ever had, the first video I ever had was and this is when I was probably 13 or so, 12, 13, was the Helly Hansen team like compilation video called Happy Happy.
fuck yeah, Chris Osnes movie.
Yes. And just watching Eric Pollard in that movie was very influential. It was very important to me. And Sarah Burke was in that movie. She was dope. So that was an important video.
I don't remember. I was looking for it for the last 2 months, but all of Osnes's other movies were pretty weird. Like the ones because he worked on Teddy Bear Crisis with Henrik, so I don't think of it as an Osnes movie. But do you ever watch like Clay Pigeons or all these movies he made after? Like, was the Happy Happy kind of a weird movie too?
No, Happy Happy I think was something that, if I remember correctly, I believe it was like a compilation video of all the other clips from that year or the year before.
From other
like,
film companies.
For Helly Hansen.
Yep.
But, and then my first actual interaction, so I don't know, I was like pretty isolated as far as skiing goes, just because of where I lived, being the only skier in my school. I doubt he will watch this, but the only person I went skiing with in my school in middle school, his name was Ben Shepard.
Okay.
He now works on the Chicago Board of Trade and Exchange. He trades soybean futures and collects cool watches. He's the man. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's like one of my oldest friends. If he watches this, what's up?
And he skied at your local hill with you?
He skied with me at Sunburst. He stopped skiing pretty quickly after that to play football, but man, what other old videos? So yeah, the first ski videos I ever watched that were like influential to me were all of the Playhouse movies.
Wicked.
So like White Shine,
Yeah.
Schematic, where they ski in fucking like
Iceland.
somewhere crazy like
Beirut, I know. One of the movies that
I was gonna say Lebanon. Yes, they ski in Lebanon. Okay, that wasn't me. I thought that was like an insane hallucinated fever.
No, they're dressed up, walking the packages through Beirut.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Okay, yeah, that video was important. I remember watching that and being like, this is fucking crazy. And then I remember going to the park with the playground with Ben Shepard and like climbing on top of like playground equipment and just like bomb dropping to flat. That was sick.
True, yeah, that's what they did. Because I remember watching the footage. It's like, Jesus Christ, man! Look, you guys are all Canadian. I wouldn't want to go there.
So that was good. That was classic. But and then my next memories are definitely watching Simon Dumont and Tanner Hall, like that like rival. I don't even know if it really was a rivalry in real life, but
no, it's just two guys that want to win and then just happen to win all back to back. And
yeah, but I just remember that on ESPN just being a big thing.
Well, it's so easy, right? Without social media, because if you're head to head, it's just like Mike Tyson fight. You can put the word versus, And if this is the most winning and this is the most winning, a versus sign makes it look like it's a fight or
Yeah.
a battle, and then it's just easy media back then.
But I remember watching that, and then I remember getting there's also a magazine that was out for a short amount of time called Skis, Skeeze.
As K2 skis. So they put it out 2 years in a row as a 1 year annual by K2.
I remember that pretty vividly. I remember having that, and I remember someone writing an article about how you shouldn't do 1-footers. That's what I remember from that. Is
And
like,
Rory, do you remember Rory Silva's fake ads of all the making fun of every company?
no, but I do remember Rory Silva like having like cutout pictures from Rory Silva on my wall for sure.
Because this dude, it was so fun. So every ad in that skis was Yoon Olsen was on Jay Lindbergh, so they made a R Silverberg ad,
Oh yeah.
and Roy's pretty ugly dude. So like he's all not being good looking like Yoon, and then
Yo, what was the movie that he was in where he's a serial killer?
Dubsky 106, the movie
That one
made down.
was sick. You made that one?
Yeah, that was the most intense segment I've ever. We spent like 3 weeks on it. I think there's maybe like 700 clips in it.
Yeah.
And then we storyboarded it all as a backwards concept. So he's eating the heart at the beginning. And then we're like, yeah, it was the dopest thing that like I ever produced as far as ski porn.
I remember that one and watching that and being like, I remember thinking like, is this a ski video? Like what am I watching, you know? But in a cool way.
It was the only ski movie that ever had people walk out of a movie theater where they like go in, they're like, it's the winter's coming, ski movie.
Right.
And then his segment comes on, they're like, what the fuck did I just buy a ticket to? I'm like, skiing.
I watched that the other day, or not the other day, but probably like last year I watched it again, and it was very experimental.
It is so fun. Like even like the downhill shots where it's black, like we shot black and white, and it's like mostly this night vision film. So it's super duper grainy. Like Mammoth would let us put we could hang out on the work cart, right? On the gondola cable. So they had a flat cart, I could hang out on it, and I'd just do laps to the top of the mountain and back, and then I'd film that angle that was straight down that did the follow. But I just smoked doobies on the work cart, fucking did half an hour laps, and then they'd see at the top of the park. I'd wave to them, and then we'd get a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that segment was so fun, man.
Dude, what about Super Park with the giant like giant pink dinosaur thing?
I think that was a Freeze Parkasaurus when they like had
Parkasaurus. Yes, dude, you're jogging my memory right now. Yes, that was cool. I remember seeing that in Freeze magazine. I also remember my friend Ben Shepard that I was telling you about. He had Axis ski magazine. Do you recall this?
Fuck yeah. So that was around 2001 to 2004.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember
Matt Leventhal made that, like Jason's brother.
Yeah, that was Matt Leventhal, and then it was like under powder.
That was sick. I had a couple of those. That was awesome. And then I'm jumping all around here, but another thing that I remember vividly was going to when I had park skis finally, because I won a rail jam in my hometown, like hay bale style, like drop in flat box rail jam, classic Midwest style, and I did a 270 on, which was huge. Very epic. It's the only thing I ever won, I think, ever. But
pretty good winning pair of skis.
Yeah, I got a pair of Vocal Dogans, the white and red ones.
Okay.
If you remember those. And then I went with Ben Shepard and his dad to Area 51 to Keystone. And we made it a point to travel to Boulder. It was either Boulder or Denver, I can't remember, but we went to the Jibbage shop.
Gibberish?
No, Jibbage. Jibij.
What was Jibbage?
Do you recall this? No. It was an online ski shop.
Okay.
That I don't know. It was just like a thing I saw on newschoolers.com where I was like, there's this ski shop, we should go to it. And we went there. The guy's name was Josh something. But he was in there. And he like couldn't believe that we had come all the way from Wisconsin to see the shop. I still have a Jibbage t-shirt. Look it up. It's real.
I know. I'm trying. I'm like, I can't believe because I'm.
Unless I'm fucking insane, it's possible.
No, you're totally right. It's something that was very short-lived, I think.
Yeah, but we went in there and he was like shocked that we visited, and he's like, all right, here's some ski movies. And he gave me White Shine by Playhouse. And then he gave me like a DVD copy of Schematic and White Shine by Playhouse.
Big up this guy, man. He gave you some classics.
Yeah, I don't know. And then he like disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Dude, do you have any of those Playhouse DVDs still? Because those are like a missing artifact in skiing.
I know. That shit was awesome. Charles Gagne was in those, and he was so dope, dude. His videos always had like crazy screamo parts.
I think it was White Shine. They lost all his footage.
I believe that.
So the cameraman, like I guess, like had a problem with his camera or whatever, and he went like for a month or two and just dominated. And then they realized that all the film was bad. So Charles Gagne lost maybe some of his most epic footage ever because of 16 millimeter.
That was like prime Octograb era. When that was like such a fucking mind-blowing trick, doing the Octograb. But yeah.
So now it sounds like you're into it, right? When I'm looking at the time period and you're like probably a senior maybe, and you're winning an event, you're watching media, you're traveling to fucking Colorado, you experience a ski shop that you saw through New Schoolers. Like now it's gotta be kind of becoming super dope.
Yeah.
Or is it just still fun? Like, because I only keep bringing this because you started a ski company. So at some point you had to become insane with the love of this shit.
I mean, I think that I always found in skiing something that I would say that when I was 16, 17 was when I realized that skiing was like my thing.
Okay.
As far as being like finding an identity in something, I guess. That was different than everyone else that I knew. Because, I wanted to be different than everyone else, I guess.
Well, you had to be. You're on a solo mission with you and your friend. So this is why I find it super fun how you're molded, too, to become who you are with the So you do an event, like, do you ever think, because there's not a lot of opportunity to compete in the Midwest. So, like, are you ever looking at it, like, now, like, watching X Games, you're like, I want to be a competitor? Or how are you looking at how you want to find your identity? What do you want to partake in?
Never. I always just was making. I bought my dad bought me a VX 2100 when it came out, or not right when it came out, like a year after it came out, I would say. And then I really was like a sleeper cell, like solo guy. I don't know. I just made videos in my yard. Like I just made. Like,
so you got a backyard setup year round? Or
I made my own summer setup. Yeah, I built a drop-in. I built rails. And I would just make videos like for myself, really. I think I put them, maybe I posted that. I don't even think I posted any of them.
You had a dope camera. Are you editing all your stuff? Like after you set your shit up on a tripod, do you go in and start being like, yeah, I love movies and I want to add my favorite song to it?
I was making videos on Sony Vegas. That was my editing software.
Never heard of it.
My friend Elliot Strong, shouts out once again. These are all names I don't think I've said out loud in like 10 years. But yeah, my friend Elliot Strong like built me helped me build a computer. And with that computer, I made these little ski videos, just like I said, just like for my own. I don't really know why I was making it. I just thought it was fun, I guess.
Well, it's kind of like watching what you're working on, right? Like if you can film yourself practicing a basketball jump shot, and that's fun. Like it's kind of like when you rewatch it, you're watching it to learn how to do it better, right? If it's a backyard setup, as just as much as you are to put it together.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Yeah. I think I was just watching videos. I mean, okay. I was a very like lonely, like depressed man. There's so much shit I'm remembering now. Holy fuck, man.
That's what I do with my 40s and weed.
Holy fuck. Okay, so all right. Let me rewind a little bit. This is before I could drive, for sure. When I was 15 years old, 14 or 15, I cut lawns in my neighborhood. I was like mowing grass for money and shaking down my neighbors. And I used that money. Did I tell the story about Camp of Champions on my first one?
Maybe.
It doesn't matter.
It's so long ago, but yeah, let's get the story here.
This is so fried. Okay, so I was like to my parents, I was like, there's this camp, this summer ski camp in Whistler called Camp of Champs. I really want to go to it. My parents were like, you can like buy it, you can pay. I was like, all right, fuck you guys. All right, fine. So
let's just be like, I always ask my parents for camp too, but like, dude, that price is so wild to a parent.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, fuck you guys. I'll do it myself. So I mowed grass in my neighborhood and just like shook my neighbors down. Would just like knock on their door and be like, I'm cutting your grass. You're giving me money, right? Okay, cool. And they did. And so I did that summer before I got I bought Camp of Champions, like the camp, whatever. And my parents were like, we have to go with you because you're gonna fuck yourself up. You just are. And I was like, no, like no. I remember being so mad that
Why were you a kid that like jumped off trees in the backyard, or like what do they think about because you're a basketball player? So are you this wild that you just do some shit?
They knew that I was like that I didn't really care about my own safety, I would say. So they were like, we have to go with you. So they did. And I remember being so mad. But I got I got to Camp of Champions after not skiing for, ski season ends. Camp of Champions starts like in July or June or whatever. I went there, and in the morning meeting the first day, they were like, all right, you guys haven't skied in a while, like chill out. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. Like I'm the man. Like fuck that. I'm so sick, whatever. They had a little jump line. I'm up there, it's cold in the morning still. And I was hitting the jump line and I did a 360 and under rotated and just knocked myself the fuck out the first day within like 45 minutes. So I remember like, man, this is fucking crazy. This is a trip. I remember like doing a 360, coming around, seeing the knuckle, and then the next thing I remember is like being in the emergency room in Whistler, throwing up into my helmet. And like calling my parents' hotel, my dad always tells me this story where like I called their hotel, and I was so concussed, and nobody knew anything about who I was, And I was like, James and Kathy Davis are at this hotel. Can you put them on the phone? And I think whoever was working at the hotel was like, I don't know what's going on with this kid, but they like connected to me and my parents, and I was like, you guys are right. I fucked up. Help, So I was super, super concussed, and I didn't get to ski the rest of the time at Camp of Champs, but I just like hung out at the hotel or whatever. Which, by the way, the fact that we were just allowed to like exist with no supervision in the town of Whistler was so crazy, dude. Like, I don't know how that was allowed, but it was. So that was an extreme failure. I was very sad about it. And then the next year, newschoolers.com had a writing contest. I was always a good creative writer. And they had a writing contest that was like, write an essay about why you should get a free trip to Camp of Champions. And I wrote an essay about what I just told you, knocking myself out, how much of a waste it was, whatever. And I fucking won. I won. And I got a free trip to Camp of Champions the next year. I remember checking.
You look at that as a kid. So you're 16 when you wrote that?
15, 16, yeah.
Right. So that's a big win, right? Because of your storytelling ability.
Yeah.
You know, more than your skiing ability.
Yeah.
So is that recognized as a kid at all? Like, are you a writer at the time, or are you a storyteller in some way, or like? Because I mean, that's huge, man. You told me before you were so stoked on your skis that you won the first time.
Yeah.
That's a bigger winning than a pair of skis.
That was pretty cool. I almost didn't get to go because I had my like school email or whatever that I just like never checked, and I finally checked it randomly one day, and there was like 4 emails from Whistler Blackcomb being like, "You won this thing. Like, final call. If you don't answer this email, we're gonna give it to somebody else." And I was like, "No, wait."
That's awesome.
I got to go. And that was when I was 16, and I had a pair of Surfaces. I had the first year of Surfaces, and I wore like this was like emo era. Like I was like an original emo kid, so I was wearing like women's pants.
So what summer is this? Do you remember what year?
That's how it was, man. It was a different time, just wearing women's pants.
Do you remember what year it was? It helps my brain out a lot to understand where you are.
2006 or 7, something like that.
Okay, so technically you're on the Hessian phase. If you're this, who's your coaches at this time?
Funny you should ask. When I went there, I actually was like, I don't want. They put me in a group with Luke Van Valen. And I was like, I don't want to be coached. And they were like, what do you mean? You came to this camp. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm too sick for that shit. I don't fucking want to coach. So I was like, can I just ski by myself? And they were like, okay, I guess. So I did. But, and this is really crazy, the guest coach for my session was Tom Wallish. For real. It was Tom Wallish when he was 18, probably.
So he's all on Amplid. Like those skis. If you, I don't know. The first time I saw him, like 07, he was like on Amplid skis or something. I was like, what?
I think he had 4 fronts. It was right after. It was the same year that he put out his Super Unknown.
Yep, word. Yes, I forgot about that.
And already. Dude, he was wearing the brown and tan Burton Ronan suit. It's like at Camp of Champions, and it was like seeing a god in real life, dude. It was like, what the fuck? It's that guy from.
So wait, you saw his Super Unknown before you saw him at Camp of Champs?
Yes.
Wow.
And so I went there, and he was, you're jogging my memory like crazy, dude. I remember the first day before, like, I was like, yeah, I don't really want to be coached. I just kind of want to ski around, whatever. And Luke Van Valen, who's really cool, he was like, yeah, I get it. That's fine. But you still got to like come up with us like as a group, you know? So we went up there in the morning, and I remember watching Tom Wallish on the first run do a rodeo 5 off of like a nub, like a little tiny jump, nothing. I remember Luke Van Valen being like, what the fuck? It's the first day. Like, who is this dude? And I remember being like, he made this video. The Super Unknown.
All you young kids knew who he was before anyone who was the illest. Like, yes. I was making idea in my house while you were watching that.
Yes. And I remember him doing a rodeo, and he was really nice to me. And it was really cool. Little did I know that I would end up in Utah watching him ski at Park City. But yeah, that was a crazy just like happenstance that I won this free trip, and Tom Walsh was the guest coach, and it was crazy, man. But it was
So
fun.
you showed up there wanting to be all cool because you were ill with some tight clothes on. Did
Emo.
you find any other fun heshers like Anthony Boranowski or who other else? Because in 2007 was kind of this joystick era. I think Surface was a sub thing of joystick. I don't even know anything. But
Anthony Boranowski was a big influence on me for sure.
okay, and before you went to Camp of Champs.
Yep, and Blake Nyman as well.
Okay. They were the original heshers of that time period.
Oh yeah, and I remember it just matched up because I was already like an emo kid. Like I had the hair shit, and I wore women's pants because they didn't make skinny jeans yet, so you'd have to buy women's pants from Walmart, which I did, and so I remember just seeing the Surface. Like I said, like I was looking for an identity, and like being different was what I thought was important, and I was like,
So in Wisconsin,
yeah,
it's easy to be different. But when you go to Whistler and there's all these different kids that do love the same thing you love, did you find anyone that was similar identities? Or did you be like, what? I'm still weird and different.
bro. All right. Once again, the world works in mysterious ways. When I went to Whistler for that trip, you take like a bus and then another bus and then a lift to get up there.
Yep.
And when I was riding up the lift, there was another park or another camp, Perfect North. And I was riding on the lift with this kid who I had just met. And he had a purple SMS suit. He had a matching purple SMS clothing, outerwear suit, whatever. And he had on a Milwaukee Bucks Michael Redd jersey under his jacket. And I was like, Michael Redd, like, you like the Milwaukee Bucks? And he's like, yeah, I'm from Wisconsin. I go to Pius High School. Pius 9 is the name of the high school, and they're in my conference. They're like a Catholic school in my conference.
Okay.
Turns out it is my longtime friend, Dickie Stiza, the dude that now owns Ninth Ward Skis. So I met him for the first time. I met Nathaniel Stiza, Dickie Stiza, on the lift going up to Camp of Champions. And we went on to be great. I mean, we're still friends. We made our first ski videos together, all that shit. But yeah, I met him on the lift because he was wearing a Bucks jersey. That is a memory that I have not. Yeah, that's a deep memory. But yeah, so that was cool. We went on to, live together in Utah and all that shit. But I would say the person that like connected me with skiing the most was Brian Landrigan, who had a radio show on newschoolers.com that I called into. And again, it's just Wisconsin people.
So you're in Wisconsin. You know this kid. So first of all, I need to know the Brian Landrigan fucking shit.
Yeah.
So he's right. So let's give Brian his props because I think he put in some work in Milwaukee area for a sport.
He's the only reason that I know. I mean, yeah, the Midwest Ski Film Festival was so integral to
So let's talk about this because you just got done with Camp of Champs. I believe this is Brian's first year or like right before his first year of running. What's the crew called? Third Ward?
Third Ward. So he moved from, I think he lived in Vermont. I can't really remember, but he moved to Milwaukee. He went to Mequon High School, Homestead. Or no, Psych. He went to Homestead in Mequon. And I called into his radio show on newschoolers.com, and I think I was the only listener, maybe, possibly. But he was like, so this is after Camp of Champs. he was like, you should come to Sunburst, or it was Alpine Valley. He's like, you should come to Alpine Valley with me and my friend and me and my homie, whatever. And it was Dickie Staza. It was Nathaniel Staza. So I remember seeing Dickie. So I met him on the lift, and then we didn't call him. He wasn't Dickie yet. His name was still Nate. We call him Nate actually. But I remember seeing Nathaniel at Alpine Valley, and he was wearing like a knit sweater and sweatpants. And I remember being like, "This is the only person here that's dressed weirder than me." Like, I bet he's probably my friend, and he turns out that he was. But then Brian Landrigan, God bless, he's getting married soon. He lives in Boston now. He's the marketing director for Fisher Skis currently, so he's doing great. But he did the Midwest Ski Film Festival, and that was like my first real. That was the first time I ever saw skiing as something outside of, how do I put this? That was like my first introduction into like the skiing scene, as it were, was Midwest Ski Film Festival. Mike Hornbeck went to it. He was really cool. Meeting him was awesome. And then I crashed my car that night, which was sick. I skipped.
So is this like you came back from Camp of Champs? This is like, so you're riding a high on like meeting people, creating. You meet Brian now in the fall. He's starting his first Midwest Film Festival.
Yep.
But this is huge. This is, to me, like it sounds like it's the biggest year of transformation of like bang, bang, bang.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Skier Steve was there as well.
Skier Steve was dope. This time he just had a Solomon project where it looked like he was on the team, where they sent a winch out with Red Bull.
Yes.
And he filmed that whole shit, right? 2008.
Yeah.
So he was at his all-time peak high in the sport in Minnesota.
Yeah, dude. He is the man, was the man, still the man. But
that runs Master Shredder still yearly.
Yeah, he's the man. He was there. I went to Qdoba with Steve Janish at Midwest Ski Film Festival, and I had just gotten my license. And I actually, to go to the Midwest Ski Film Festival, I actually skipped homecoming, like the homecoming dance. I went to that instead. And so this is kind of unrelated, but it was just a crazy thing that happened to me that night. Because I lived in the suburbs. It was in Milwaukee. I had just gotten my license, and I did not realize that I was like having panic attacks. I did not have like treatment for mental health yet. So somehow I got turned around in Milwaukee on the east side, and I went the wrong way down a one-way without realizing it, and I fucking hit a guy on a Vespa, and he like rolled up onto my windshield and then like landed on his feet outside my car and was like, you're going the wrong way in a one-way. And I was like, damn, I'm fucked. And then he actually asked me if I wanted to smoke weed with him after I hit him with my car, which was pretty funny.
He could tell you were in like a distressed position?
Yes.
Okay, that was awesome.
Because I was having like, in hindsight, I was having like a full-blown panic attack. I just didn't know what it meant. I was like, I can't see, my heart rate is crazy, like whatever, but that was the night of the Midwest Ski Film Festival, which is pretty crazy.
So no repercussion? He was okay? No police?
He was fine, and then it was popping. It was Friday night on the east side in Milwaukee, so like UWM campus, so it was like popping. So all these people saw it happen. He's standing outside of my car, and he's like, that girl over there is calling the police, so if you have anything illegal, you should like get rid of it. And I was like,
Guy you hit said that.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I don't, but thank you. And he's like,
You want to smoke some weed?
yeah, he's like, I live like a block away if you want to smoke. And I was like, I just hit you with my car, man. What do you?
Did you go? Did you go smoke some weed with him?
Fuck no, dude. My dad, shouts out to my dad. He was so fucking mad at me, dude. But he came and picked me up. The guy was fine. I ended up getting a ticket for some technical, like impeding traffic. They were like, we have to give you a ticket. You hit this guy.
So it could have been a lot worse.
For sure.
You could have killed him. You could have killed a guy like before your life even started.
Right, easily.
Give thanks for this human, man, in your life.
Shout out to that guy. He was a pizza delivery man on a Vespa. And but that was just like it was. The reason it sticks out to me is because the Midwest Ski Film Festival, it was so cool, it was so fun. It was like, damn, this is such a big night. I got to meet all these skier people. Like, I mean, I felt like.
Wait, so your dad picked you up and then brought you to the film festival?
No, it was after. I was going home.
Okay, all right.
So, but I remember being like, oh my God, this is such a big night. Like, I'm finally like, I like skiing. You know, all my experiences with skiing were like on the internet, on newscoolers.com. And like this, finally, I'm like experiencing skiing in real life, you know, for the first time with like ski culture. And I was so excited. And then I just like ran a guy over.
Did they show? I'm trying to think why I even knew Brian at the moment. Was this fall 2007?
Yeah, I think so.
So they showed Idea with Pollard and Pep and Andy.
They must
That's the
have.
only reason I think I remember talking to Brian ever. And
It had to have been that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking wicked. Because I'm just trying to relate what the Midwest was doing.
Mhm.
You know, especially Wisconsin, it's so segregated. Michigan's kind of like got its own scene. Minnesota has its own scene. And even right now, when I watch Wisconsin, like the Granite Peak, I think it's called now, their scene is so fucking big, but no one has a clue outside of fucking northern Wisconsin. So it's always fun.
Yeah, Granite Peak's sick. I was there. I went there once in like 8th grade. It's awesome. But I mean, the Wisconsin ski scene, whatever at the time, was all Brian Landrigan. Like, it was all him, 100% him. And I actually.
What else do you guys do? So you just are off the super high showing ski movies. What are you a senior now? Is this your senior homecoming you missed to go to this?
Junior.
You're only a junior still. Okay, wicked. And then is Brian in university?
He had gone to Rhode Island School of Design, I think, for like a semester, and then moved to Milwaukee. And then.
But he's not in high school, is my question for this.
No, I don't think so. I think he was like 19 or 20, maybe.
Emmett, I want to ask something because, okay, so you skied alone. Did you just like generally, in this period of your life, just do things alone, like everything?
Pretty much.
Because you're the closest sibling you have is 9 years older than you. So did he move out at 18?
Yeah.
So you were basically raised as like an only child.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's kind of that's
But you
that's
still
a wrinkle
got
I
to
never
be
realized.
semi-normal because you're a basketball player until 9th, 10th grade, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you still have to grow up with that team structure, you know?
Yep.
And I think that's because baseball too, right?
Yep.
Like you have to play with people. Like your failure is on like 9 other people.
But would you chill with those? Would you chill with those guys after you're done playing sports, or just like go to practice, go to the games, see you later?
Go to practice, go to games, go home, set up my fucking AstroTurf thing in my yard, and just like do front twos. I don't know. I've just always been a pretty like solitary person. Like even and I mean it all relates to like mental illness. Like I was just very depressed child. Like I was just like isolating without even realizing it. I was just kind of like self-isolating.
Did skiing release some of those feelings for you? Like when you were part of it, doing it at Camp of Champs, or did you always have it there when you'd get off the hill or even while you were skiing?
No, it's always there.
Okay.
but I just liked being alone. I mean, I still like being alone. I still like skiing alone. But yeah, I mean, I guess I never really thought about it. But yeah, no, I did everything alone pretty much.
Word.
Yeah.
So, but now you have a little local tribe, and the local tribe is creating dope shit. And it's got to be kind of inspiring as a 17-year-old to watch Brian create shit and then know him. Like, and so, like, when you're doing this now, what's your vibe as a junior? Like, are you trying to film more? Are you doing anything more, or are you still on the same? This is fun.
Yeah, well, a little bit of both, I guess. I was still just on my own tip, and then um I got my first girlfriend my junior year of high school. And so then like skiing took a back seat for a second because I discovered the beauty of being being in a wonderful relationship. So like I guess skiing kind of took a back seat for a second. But then like it came time to I got my first job when I was 14. So I had been working, all along, and then I got a job at a ski shop in Wisconsin called Les Moise. And it came time to like decide about going to college. And I only applied to 3 schools. I applied to Boulder, I applied to the U, and I applied to UWM because I got in trouble. I got in a little bit of trouble, and my parents were like, you're not even leaving Wisconsin. You're going to fucking UWM, or you're going to like area technical college, idiot. Fuck you." And I was like, "True, my bad."
So when you're at this stage and you put Boulder on your list because at this time it's 40,000 a year, private college compared to U of M or UW or anywhere else. Are you just dreaming of mountains?
Yeah, I wanted to go to. I guess I just wanted to go to film school because I had been making all these little ski videos in my yard and just like editing videos, and then I won a film festival at my high school back-to-back years.
And what was the film of that you won the film festival of?
The first one was like the movies like Scary Movie, Scary Movie.
Yeah.
It was like that, but of like an action movie.
Dope. So this is a short film, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It was a short film where we were just fucking around, I guess. But there was a lot of like airsoft guns in the movie, and then it got like banned from the film festival. But then my language arts teacher, Mrs. Beal, was like, "This is a parody. Like it should be allowed." And then like they let it be allowed. If that makes sense.
So I got to tell you a story because I can relate.
Yeah.
So when I was a junior or senior, I took art of film, and we had to do a short, and we made a 90-second one called Jack Move. That was ill. But in our oh no, that was actually what we got in trouble for. So short, we did this edit where a deal of a brick of hash deal went bad in the junior high, and then we never showed it because drugs were illegal to show in the edit and all that, and you couldn't have weapons and you couldn't swear. But then we like had this backpack we stole, and we had getaway cars, and we drove around the schools, and we had water weenies, those like tubes they play in a pool. We had bazookas or shotguns. And so we'd shoot back and forth and put audio over it. And then the final scene was we cut off a car, and then we go bang, and we shoot from behind, and you see the guy go like this, and we shoot from behind just blasting him like his head's off. So we shoot all this shit. All of a sudden look up, the whole junior high, like hundreds of kids are against the wall. Fucking 8 cop cars pull up. They're like, "Put your weapons on the ground." I'm like, "Yo, fuck you. It's a water weenie."
Yeah.
But I look at it like, we just got slapped on the wrist. Everyone goes, "Kids will be kids," because we had water weenies. And I'm like, "Yo, everyone's dead."
Yeah,
But it was
same
so fun making short films in high school.
Same shit with us. The part of the movie that got the principal upset was there was this kid in my school. I don't even remember his name, but he had like the craziest airsoft gun collection. And there was a scene in the movie we made where like I'm like the secret agent guy who like I need firepower, you know? So we fucking we go to his house and he has enough airsoft guns to fill up a ping pong table, a ping pong table's worth. And what really got us in trouble was like revealing the ping pong table. Like we had like a sheet over it and like yanked the sheet off, and there was like 50 guns on the sheet. And I remember being like, you know, classic action movie. I remember we like cut and I was like, that'll do, you know? So that was like that was like the thing that pissed my principal off. So anyways, I was like, I like making films. This is fun. I want to go to film school. I toured Boulder, and I got into the film school of Boulder because I had good grades, and I got a pretty good ACT score. And
What was your ACT score?
I got a 29, which
Nice.
is like okay, but I got a like nearly perfect score on the reading, writing, and comprehension one, and then my math one was just like terrible because I still can't do math to this day.
Dude, we're so opposite. I only took the SAT. I aced the math, and I got like a 100 out of 800 on the reading. I'm
Yeah.
a retard when it comes to fucking reading.
I feel you, dude. I choose to live in a world where math is over here, and I'm like over here.
I don't want to live in this world.
But yeah, went to Boulder. It was sick, but I was like, the vibe is very douchey here. The skiing's too far away. I think in another life I would have went to Boulder and become like a cokehead Wall Street guy maybe. But
Or marry a trust funder, because like even like the idea of hustling there is not so aggressive.
it'd be sick. But yeah,
You know?
instead I went to the U.
When
But
you say the U, to be clear, this is the U of Wisconsin.
the University of Utah.
Of Utah, okay.
Yeah, I went to the University of Utah in 2009 when I was 17. So I graduated high school when I was 18. I graduated high school when I was 17. My birthday's in July, so I was freshly 18.
So 2009, I need to say this is epic. So 2009, there's a 4x9 house on campus at the University of Utah.
Yep.
You are Wallace, Steve Stepp, fucking, I've named like 6 other guys. And this is right on fraternity row. It's the funniest shit you've ever seen in your whole life.
Oh yeah.
So I'm imagining you as a Wisconsin kid going to the university, because I got to go. And I had classes with like JT Holmes. You're learning about him a bunch right now, Ethan, because you're posting a bunch of pictures through Dragon sessions, all this. But dude, JT, and he would, my math class, I'm like, yo, that guy's in fucking MSP movies.
Yep.
You know, and so to me, it was a different world coming from Minnesota to go to Utah.
It was a crazy different world. I went to that 4x9 house a couple times. I talked about this in my episode with Ethan, the first one, but my big like introduction to like the ski scene, and I think that if I had different roommates, my life would be very different now. But my suite mate at the time was Matt Heffernan, who died tragically a couple of years later. But he was like hot shit. I mean, he was one of the best skiers I've ever seen in my life, and he was my suite mate, and he was like cool with all those guys because he had come to Utah and gone skiing. He's in the Clown School edit, fuck that like classic park video that Heath made. So he was kind of like I just like followed him, like whatever he did. Basically, he was like, "You want to go to this house? You want to go here?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Oh, you want to go to the Cottonwood Pool? Like all the classic like skier Utah shit. Without Hef, I don't think I would be here I would not be doing what I'm doing, certainly.
And where did Hef come from?
Ohio. He came from Boston Mills Brandywine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember his name now that you just brought it up, but I didn't ever know what his background was.
So he was my suite mate, and he was the first person who I ever saw in person who was like a guy, I guess, that people knew from skiing. And he helped me. I mean, I was still pretty like shy or whatever, but he definitely like brought me places where I saw like what you're saying. Like we would go to a house party and I would be like, whoa, that's Tom Wallish, you know? Shit like that. Who
There's the Green Goblin, man. Green Goblin was hot
who
2009.
I would like to say, like, I would like to make a point to say, there's a lot to be said about like the cool guyism in Utah or whatever. I was like a freshman, fucking, I didn't drink. I barely smoked weed. Like, those dudes had no reason to be nice to me, but Steve Stepp and Tom Wallish were both very cool to me. They could have easily been like, "What? Who the fuck is this kid?" Whatever. But I was with Hef, so it was like, fuck.
No, but I'll attest, man. Like if I was in Utah, I remember stopping by the 4x. I get that I'm different, but I also could tell like the way when I sat down and talked with them as normal humans. I was like, "What? You're all so young, but not fucking like." Because I don't know, they were just dope from what I got to meet too the first time. At the
So
same time.
I would like to say that like there is a lot of people talk about like the cool guy shit, but like Tom Wallish and Steve Sepp were the coolest guys by far, and they were really nice to me, and they did not need to be. So I would like to say thank you for that. Shouts out, fellas.
Yeah,
I don't know if they remembered me. But, I mean, I know Steve Stepp I would consider a friend of mine, but it was just crazy to be like from the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, wow, there's Tom Wall, you know, like hero worship level shit, and then they're like normal ass people. So that was cool. That was a good like adjustment that I made, you know.
So you get that in the fall time before you even start your awesomeness of skiing in the winter. So you're meeting people. So when you start to ski that winter, are you starting to meet with is Park City your spot? Is that where everybody's going in 2009, 10?
2009 and 10. 2009 was a great snow year. And I remember it distinctly because it snowed at Brighton in like September, like super, super early. Because I remember like going to my first, because school at the U starts in the end of August.
Yeah.
And I remember skiing within like 2 weeks of being there. So it snowed like really fast. Probably mid-September it snowed.
Did you still ski alone when you went to Utah?
I didn't have a car, so no.
What was your first Utah ski experience when you went up way too early season because you heard it snowed up high?
I went with Hef and my roommate Jake Koulos, and we hit a flat box. What the fuck is that thing called at Brighton? Snake Creek, I think it's called. But it was just like a preseason setup type situation.
Okay.
And
we hiked to the top of Elta because we heard it snowed like 2 inches up high.
Yeah.
And we did the whole hike from the parking lot to the top to ski grass and rocks and
Same
built
shit.
the biggest jump you've ever seen. That was totally unnecessary for no snow and a landing, but we're like, we can.
Yeah.
And then I just watched people just die and I filmed it. It was
Same
nuts.
shit pretty much. And yeah, it was fun. It was like a dream come true, you know?
So where do you end up skiing then that winter? Like what's
Park City.
Park City? And is that it's nuts that year? Like it's as far as the talent that's going through that big park, the mud, how big Park City was promoting its riders with the pictures of on the lift towers, they spray painted those faces. Like, so I just remember it was kind of the last 2 years of Park City being the epic spot that supported the sport, but the kids were always there. They still are to this day. It's the most popular, like, to me, it's the last place I'd want to grow up skiing because it's everyone has next year's gear on and is looking at you like, who the fuck is this guy? He better be dope. Like, there's never more eyes than any place in the world than Park City. I mean, even like in 2010, I remember going up the lift, maybe 11, when B-Dog had the most selling Orage outfit. And I was like, did I just see 30 kids that looked like B-Dog? 2006, 7, there'd be 80 kids that looked like Tanner Hall, full Oakley outfits with the like where it just looked like them. Had like, so it's, what's it like for you in this scene, man, of epic? This is Hollywood. From Wisconsin to Hollywood.
It was insane. I remember this is when King's Crown still existed. And I remember I was nowhere near good enough to ride in King's Crown, but I remember going to King's Crown and riding next to the jumps and it's like being next to a building. Like, look,
that's the size of Sunburst.
Yeah, looking
get
up
speed for this at Sunburst
and being like, oh my fucking God, dude, this is fucking so scary. But it was fun. The first person that I met was Tosh Peters.
Dope.
Who was riding Ninth Wards, and I knew Ninth Ward because of Brian Landrigan. And he was really cool. Like,
hey, was Third Ward named after Ninth Ward?
Yeah, pretty much. There's like a part of Milwaukee that's called the Third Ward, but
I knew that, but I didn't know if it tried to relate to the core of skiing.
I think so, yeah. But all of my like back in my day ski stories about the University of Utah was always like people being nice to me.
Why do you keep bringing this up? Is there some like bad vibe that people are talking about, or what's going on?
Yes. I mean, yeah, what people think about, you said it's like Hollywood or whatever, like there's this negative.
I'm only talking Park City. University of Utah has grown men that like got an opportunity to come out and meet each other. But when you go to Park City and enter that bubble, it's a whole different world, Park City Mountain Resort skiing.
I think a lot of people talk about Salt Lake City and the ski scene in a negative light about like cool guyism and shit, but all of my experiences were people being nice to me, like Evan Heath included. Evan Heath was so cool to me. Like, I used to fucking talk shit to Evan Heath on newschoolers.com in high school, and we had like an internet beef, whatever, and then I met him in real life and he was cool as fuck. Everyone,
but I guarantee you no one probably has it in real life. I bet everyone loves this guy, right?
It's all people's perception. I mean, I think if you're a new person that moves to Utah, it's really easy to like feel insecure and feel weird and shit and feel like I suck at skiing. You do suck at skiing, but that's fine.
And you're moving somewhere new, so you should feel new. And I like you know what I mean? Like anywhere, Minnesota's the hardest place to move in the world. They already have their friends since birth.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna make no friends here if you go to University of Minnesota.
Yeah,
because they're all best friends from high school from birth.
True. Yeah. So all my like formative experiences at the U were like people who I really looked up to, mostly being really cool to me. That's nice. I mean, maybe I was just like only seeing the best, but.
So tell me a story that you hear where people are not being nice to each other, or they feel like they're being bullied.
It's hard.
I'm curious why you bring it up so much.
It's hard to explain. I bring it up a lot because like it's something that people talk about a lot in the Salt Lake ski world.
It's just the perception that it's very cliquey. So like if somebody's moving out there without having any friends, it's hard to create a friend group and have a crew to go skiing with because everyone's already got their squad. And they don't.
I'm going to say this. If you love something, you're going to find other people that love it. Yeah. Like no matter where you go, man. Like, and especially in this sport, like how weird we are just for the idea that you want to trick on the slope. Like even when you go up a chairlift, you're less than fucking 5% of the people that are there to participate at the resort. So already it's like something that connects you.
It's also one of those places too where there's so many, like you pretty much go anywhere and if you're like to be in the park, there's only a select number of kids that want to be in the park with you, so you're going to be a natural crew anyways. Like growing up in my hill, everyone was friends. I'm sure everybody at Small Hill can relate. You go to Salt Lake, it's not like just because you like skiing, it's not a default that you're all going to be friends. Like then there's subgroups within the niche, and a lot of people that's the first time ever that's been a case where like you can't just ride, with anyone. I'm sure you could just ride with anyone, but it's not the same as like at your Small Hill before you got to Utah.
And I'll say it's totally normal if you move to a different high school and fucking 9th grade, 12th, whatever grade, it might be hard to find a group of friends. It's life.
It's life.
Yeah. There's certain people here in Utah that are like that for sure. When you see them, they, doesn't matter. My point is that I had a good experience when I didn't. I guess I just went into moving to Utah. I just went in with an open mind and
it worked out, man. Big up fucking Wallace and Steve and all these guys that were fucking just made it dope, man.
They were just normal. But again, I think it's
to you in high school, like because it seems like people being nice to you stood out. Like were people dicks to you when you were growing up?
It's the reason that I don't like. I mean, no and yes. It's a very Midwest thing that's hard to explain if you're not from there, particularly Wisconsin. But it's just like the Midwest is full of people who have stopped. I mean, this is going to be a controversial hot take, I guess, because Iberg, you're in Minnesota, so maybe I don't know. The Midwest is full of people that have like a version of Stockholm syndrome, I would say, because where you live is so miserably cold and shitty for so much of the time that you have to like convince yourself that it's fine, I guess. So what you get is a lot of fake niceness, a lot of fake friendliness. And especially in Wisconsin, you get a lot of people that resent you for doing something different, I guess. So what I got a lot of was like, oh, you're moving to Utah? Like, what are you going to do out there? You're going to, what, you know what I mean? Because people in the Midwest sometimes feel, and this is true of my family, this is true of people I went to high school with, they're threatened by people that like, they feel threatened by people that like pursue things outside of the little bubble of Wisconsin, I guess.
I agree with everything you say. And like even the guys that go check out stuff, study, like go to a university outside the Midwest, study abroad for 1 year for free, they all move back.
Yeah.
And so it's like this kind of, I don't know, it's a safety bubble of comfort because there's a lot of comforting jobs still in the Midwest.
Right.
That are 9 to 5s, can actually pay your shit. And the biggest thing the old people say here is the cold weather keeps the riffraff out. So I agree 100% with you on the idea that is fake because my wife is Danish and she hasn't met one friend in 8 years of living here because everyone already has their friend groups. Right. But everyone asks how she's doing every day, but never makes a phone call to ask her if she'd like to get together.
Yeah. That's very Midwest. The Midwest is full of people where there is a roiling hatred for their fellow man just below the surface, and the surface is friendliness. Minnesota nice is not a good thing.
No, it's a fake hello, because if you go to somewhere like Denmark and you say hi to someone on the street, they're like, why is he saying hi to me?
Right.
They don't want to know. No. They don't want to, how's my day going when I like buy something at the store? They don't care.
So yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get away from by leaving the Midwest is people that are, I don't know if the word is threatened, but they're indignant, I guess, that someone would have the nerve to leave this place that they've convinced themselves is good.
And what I would say for a less cynical way is they have lack of opinions.
Yep.
and they just anything that's different is not really wanting to be understood. And so you feel very outside if you're different because no one really wants to understand you, but they'd rather have an opinion on you. Yeah, that's how I feel at least every day.
Every day. I still get it with my not my immediate family members. They know that I'm like doing well and shit, but my extended family members. The thing with Midwest people is it's very subtle, but it's some hater shit. So they'll be like I'll see like my cousin or whatever, and he'll be like, "How's your little ski company doing?" That kind of shit.
And if you were to move back to Milwaukee and do what you're trying to do now, it wouldn't even be it would be worse.
Well, they would love if I moved back to Milwaukee because that would mean I fail.
Yeah, they win at that point.
But I'm saying if you were to try to continue doing it, then they're going to be able to judge it on a more daily opinion or question how you operate. And where when you're far, they're just stoked you're alive because Midwest people love the fact that you're alive because, as long as they're alive.
So that's kind of like my thing that I was trying to escape from Wisconsin is that like small-minded, small world type situation. And I never really went back. I don't really go back. I go back probably like once a year. And my whole family lives there. I got nieces and nephews and shit, but it's just not. I can spend about 3 days in Wisconsin before I'm like, all right. Get me the fuck out of here, dude.
I've been stuck for 8 years.
Yeah.
But let's so we're at the awesome year of life. Let me take my hour and 20-minute pee break.
I might take one as well.
And then then we're about to go to the moon here and about fucking creation of your shit.
Okay. All right. 1 second, Emmett.
All right.
Are you learning anything new from your previous 4 discussions?
Yeah, I actually don't think, because after the first one, we always just talked about current events, so there's actually a lot of stuff from, especially the Camp of Champions stuff, that I had no clue about.
Yeah, speaking of Minnesota,
I got back in the new 9th Ward owner. Whoa, you did the entrance.
Look at my Prince shirt.
Fuck. Big up Prince, Minnesota. He's if I drive just south of my house, 3 miles is his old house.
Paisley Park?
Yeah.
Sick.
And then I could purify myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka if I just walk 100 feet that way.
Bathe yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Yeah. Prince is my hero, bro.
Eric, this is something you might not know about Emmett, but I feel like if you didn't do the skiing stuff, you're like super musically inclined, right? Like, do you think you would have been a creator in a different way?
I mean, maybe. My brother's a jazz musician. I always liked to sing and play piano and shit, but that was kind of his thing, I guess. So
you weren't gonna do it, yeah?
Probably not, but I do like it still.
So just playing piano and singing. Did you ever write music or write songs?
I do sometimes for fun, just for my own enjoyment. I got my
actually like while you're playing a piano, you can actually like write that shit.
Yeah, I have pretty good relative pitch, so any song like I can learn the chords to and sing pretty easily.
Awesome.
My brother, yeah, like my brother is the really. I mean, I do okay, but my brother is really the talented one in the family by far. Like he can learn songs by ear first try, like.
And does he play multiple instruments?
He can play any instrument that he wants, but he plays guitar.
Yeah, I want to learn guitar with my kid. That's my next dream. I figured.
Oh, nice.
My motivation.
You should. I didn't know you had a kid. That's awesome.
I got a daughter and a son. She's just turned 12. My son turns 9 in August.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. What are they into?
My son loves every fucking thing. He just got super hooked on fishing and found the crew. So now we fucking is ready to fish every day. And I'm like, no way. You're learning how to relax.
That's awesome.
As a youth and desiring.
Yeah.
So I try to go relax with him, but that's hard. But he's teaching me that. And then my daughter's just, I don't know, got some genius in there. I don't know if she knows what it is yet, but it's something.
Very nice, man.
Which of them does the intro? Shut up.
My son, shut up, old man. So my son has the intro on this podcast. So I always tell him, I'm like, yo, you've been streamed hundreds of thousands of times. If you were collecting royalties off your intro, man,
He'd be
you could
rich.
tell your friends.
Yeah, he got
I see.
screwed, dude. No money.
No.
Big industry type shit, dude. You know.
Yeah, we got to eat up the small dogs, dude.
So Utah, I think this period is super fun to figure out. Like you go. Are you paying for school when you go? Or are your parents helping? Or because it's out of state tuition, unless like you get a permanent residence for over a year, I think, or two. So like when you're doing this, do you do 4 years of school first of all?
I did 4 years in one semester because I failed sign language 3 twice because it was really fucking hard. But
Wait, you did 4 years in 1 year?
4 years and one semester. So I graduated one semester late because I fucking took sign language for my language credit for some reason. I was on drugs. I was fucked up. But
So for the full 4 years, is school a priority? Like, or does skiing like take away from your school, or why are you finishing school, or why aren't you dedicating more time to skiing? Or
so the deal in my family, I'm certainly, I talked about this in Ethan's in the first episode. Like, I'm certainly a child of privilege. So the deal was with my dad was if I finished and did well, he would pay for it, which is extremely lucky. And I realized how fortunate.
so did you have like yearly goals you had to meet in order for it to continue, or was it just to execute an overall 4 years?
A little bit of both, I guess. My dad was a doctor, so his focus on education is very big. And I knew that if I went to college, I knew that I had to study something that I liked or I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I chose film because I knew that would make me actually go. I knew if I tried to get like a business degree, I knew I would fucking just drop out as fast as fuck. So that was kind of the vibe, was like you are my mom always used to say, like, you're a child of privilege, don't fuck it up.
Word up. Good advice, Mom.
Yeah, so I didn't, or I tried not to.
So did you enjoy school? Because my hardest part was I didn't like my prerequisites. And so I wasn't able to pass out of stuff, and I hated how stupid they made me feel. And then they like made me feel because I had to take Spanish because they didn't allow my 4 or 5 years of Latin going into it.
Yeah.
And that didn't pass me out of language.
Yeah.
And so like, did you enjoy your classes while you pursued music? Did you, because you can't even take music classes your first 2 years, right? Really?
Yeah, I did. I ended up doing film, but
Film.
yeah, but I don't know. I didn't try very hard.
So you were just going through motions?
Yeah, kind of. Like, even in my high level political science classes that I took, like, I could have minored in political science. I just didn't quite get enough credits. But even with those, like, I would barely go and then just like cram for the shit and then just like get a B plus and call it a day kind of thing. I do kind of.
But you did it, so that's why I'm interested. Most reason I'm interested in this is because of follow through. Because when said and done, most people don't have follow through in life. So even to get through college, like, you had motivation to finish, right? And I see what it is through your dad, and I see like this, and then I'm trying to see, because you were in film, and however the next transition phase is, because at the end, I believe, is the year before you start your ski company.
Yeah, we started Vishnu a month after I graduated.
All right. So now I'm looking at your university, and you're doing film, going through the motions, kind of lost. When do you start to see outlets while skiing with this whole circle? Do you see film outlets? Do you see a product needs to be created? What are you starting to envision in university for the sport of skiing?
Man, it's kind of goes back to what you said at the beginning. Like, I didn't really have any goals. I just knew that like I liked making ski videos with my friends. Like,
So were you doing videos in university? Can I go on YouTube and find some trash skier shit?
you can go on Vimeo and find my first video. It's called The Struggle.
Wicked. So what is skier trash or whatever? Because this is how I discuss, like when I researched you, and I was just like, okay, I remember this name brand, and I remember seeing Park City edits, and then I was like, okay, this is 13 years ago, so it's 2012, so I was living in Park City at the time, and so, and then that was your senior year, I believe, or junior year.
Yep.
And so, what is it? You obviously have some kind of crew going on.
Yeah. So it was me and Dickie Stiza and Kale Simperman, who
And is Dickie, just because I want to bring him back, is he the future owner of Ninth Ward?
Nathaniel Stiza. Yeah.
And in 2011 or 12, does he own Ninth Ward at this time?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Just footnote for later conversation.
So I was living with Dickie and Kale, and we met
Kale Chip Matt. What's his last name? That's the first name.
Simperman, yeah. So we he had a friend from back in Pennsylvania named Corey Lilly, who was like a really good kayaker type guy. And his older brother owned the skier trash thing. And they somehow had some sort of communications with the ski company Elon Skis.
Okay.
And so that was the first and only time that I was sponsored. So they sent me and Kale a pair of skis, and then we gave Dickie a pair of skis. And that was when we made a video called Art Sport, which you can also find. And I guess it just kind of came together pretty organically. Like, we were riding free lawn, and then that kind of ended.
What didn't you like? So, in order to push yourself to do a creation of a ski company, you obviously didn't have to like something. Say whether it's what was offered, what you were offered, what you had access to. You know, because I've had the privilege to watch Pollard, Kai, myself, like create ski companies, you know, and so like I'm really interested at this young age, and it takes the young age and ignorance to not believe in failure to do what you did.
True.
And so when you're going into it, like, I guess let's start on a positive. As a late college person, what did you think was awesome about the sport at that time, 2011 and 12?
Also, just to add it to, like, what skis were you riding before the sponsorship and before Vishnu? Like, what'd you ride and thought was sick?
I was buying used skis from people that I admired, basically. Like, I bought a pair of skis from Carl Fossvet. I bought some skis from Kai Capella, Kai Capella is in The Struggle, our video, The Struggle. I bought, and Carl Fossvet's in it too, actually. I bought some skis from I'm blanking on his name right now. Banks Go Birdie. So just basically like meeting people, meeting and seeing people around that were like sponsored skiers and being like, yo, you got any fucking clapped shit? You got anything for me? And then they'd be like, sure, give me $100. So that's kind of like how I was moving there. And then I also got a discounted pair of Surfaces, which was cool. They gave me a discount. That was my first like sponsorship or whatever. I had the purple and yellow Skull Candy Surfaces that had like the astronaut monkey on them.
Yep.
So that was pretty dope. That was my first. I remember getting the email saying that they would give me a discount. The internet at our house didn't work, so I would go sit in my car outside the Rose Laundromat on 9th East. I remember being in my car on my computer and being like, "Damn, I'm sponsored, bro! I fucking made it, bitch!"
I made it.
But-
Let me give you money.
Yeah, but I bought a pair of those for like $200. Broke them really fast, but it was fun. And then yeah, so like I was just buying used skis from people, pretty much.
So what did you like the most out of this? Were you getting into urban right away? Were you like in park? Did you like any competition? What was your favorite part of the sport in Utah?
The idea of street skiing was just really cool to me because I had already been like skiing in my yard all throughout high school, and just being able to like go out and find stuff to ski on that wasn't necessarily meant for it was very fun for me. And like I said before, like without Matt Heffernan, like I don't know if I would. He took me to my first spot. He took me to the hospital rail, which isn't there anymore, but the like 15 stair down rail at the hospital at the U. And I did a lip slide and it was awesome. And I was like, damn, I can just do, I don't have to. I've never been that good at skiing, so it was good like trick wise. So it was kind of a thing where I was like, oh damn, I it's not necessarily about the tricks, it's about like the things that I'm choosing to ski on, and that was very very inspirational and very important for me. So that was kind of the thing that I was into, was like go anywhere with snow, ski creatively, and I don't have to do a four on, I don't have to whatever, I can try to ski in a way that I haven't seen anyone do it before. So
What I think is awesome about Salt Lake, it opens that element, right? Can snow, and then it opens that hole to play on, and then you go fucking get that hole in one, and you feel awesome.
it doesn't snow here anymore, but when it did, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, special because that it was go time, and then you had to hope for go time on the proper location. You only could do the school Sunday mornings, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun. But now the next part is, what didn't you like about it? Because you got to see all elements. You got to see urban, you got to see the contest kids, you got to see the park rats, you got to see, you're the epicenter of the sport. U.S. team being created for the Olympics in 2012 going into 14. So is there something that you didn't like or didn't think the sport gave you access to create more? And with this question, I'm only trying to get at why you would want to create a ski company.
I think one of the first things that ever put that thought in my mind was when I got a pair of skis from Elon, and the graphics were the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life ever. And I remember looking at them and being like,
not stoked. You just got your first free pair of skis and they were ugly.
yeah, I remember being like, what the fuck is this? Like,
because that should be your happiest moment, right? You just told me about your percentage off at Surface. You were high-fiving yourself. You thought you were sponsored. Yep. Now you really are sponsored, got something for free, and you're actually disgusted by the look.
Truly disgusted. Yeah, I was like, this fucking sucks. What the fuck are these? So that was the first.
What ski was that? Do you remember the name of it?
Not Playmaker. Elon Puzzle, I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Because I think Kobe West signed with Elon that 2012 or something. So I'm trying to guess what, in my head, that's my only point of reference.
Yeah. So that was my first thing where I was like, if this is what it is, like, this sucks. like these graphics,
Yep.
So that was
So,
good.
so you're there. You're a senior in college. You're now thinking. Now, if your dad said, "Okay, I'll take care of something," if you finish it, it's probably a conversation in your family. What are you going to do with it, or yourself? Like, so what are you thinking you're going to do with your college education that's focused in film, and that's your major, and you're completed. You're ready to go into the real world.
I was pretty addicted to prescription drugs at the time, so I don't really remember or know. I don't think I had really any sort of.
Okay.
I don't think I had really any sort of inkling about anything at all, to be
So you
honest.
graduate, then you're like, what the fuck am I doing tomorrow? Because I'm not going to school.
I mean, I was just like super pilled out, so like I don't know.
You created Vishnu not knowing?
Kind of.
Because you
I was
created
like,
a month after you graduated, you just said earlier.
yeah. I was just like very addicted to Klonopin, basically. So I was just like doing pills, fucking on the self destruction path kind of vibes, and I kind of was just living my life like fucking I might die tomorrow. I mean, I was loose. It was loose. So it was
Okay,
like
so you're a month out of college, living loose, and you're going to
very
create a
loose.
company
Very loose.
not knowing if you want to live tomorrow?
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so when I think of your company, not knowing nothing about you or your company, I always envisioned you at, first of all, where's the name come from?
So I was working on the night shift. I was working like I said, I've always been employed like my whole life. So I always had a job. So my job at the time was working in a group home for people with mental and physical disabilities in Park City. And I was working the night shift. And for entertainment, I was really into Reddit at the time, just like looking at the internet basically for 8 hours. And there's this video of Robert Oppenheimer where he's talking about how he created the atomic bomb, and he quotes this Hindu scripture called the Bhagavad Gita, and he says, I've become Vishnu, destroyer of worlds." And I was like, what? That's fucking pretty cool. So then I just thought, I just started like writing the word Vishnu over and over and just like drawing a V with a line through it. I was fucked. I was faded as fuck. I don't know. And I kept just like drawing these like dead flies because there was at this group home that I was working at. Like it was a nice group home, but there was a lot of flies for whatever reason. So I'd spend a lot of the night just like fucking
Killing
hitting
flies.
flies with a fly swatter. So then I would just like draw them because I've always been into clothes. I've been like making clothes since I was in middle school for sure, just for fun, crocheting hats and like customizing hoodies and stuff. And I just started drawing this dead fly over and over and over and over. And I remember being like, um, thinking about like sports logos and like clothing brand logos and how there isn't really one that's like anything. There's no dead one. And I was like, damn, a dead fly is pretty cool. Like they got a short lifespan. You never know when you're gonna go type shit because that's kind of the mentality I had at the time. That's how I was living at the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like killing these flies every night. And then me and Kale were like, we should start a ski company. And I was like, how the fuck are we gonna do that? And then I knew this dude named Chris Trueneck, who started Daymakers, that touring thing. But he helped me and Kale make a pair of vacuum bag skis. So Chris Trueneck, I doubt he was going to watch this, but he is truly a genius. Like as far as his brain, he's just crazy. He's just very, very, very intelligent and very sharp. And so he took apart like a refrigerator motor and used it to make a vacuum bag ski press. So you suck all the air out, and that's what presses the skis. So we made our first pair of. He made the first pair of skis in his garage with that thing.
To your knowledge and his knowledge, has anyone made skis this way previously? Ever?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's something he could study, and he saw someone do it, and it's kind of like, oh, I could try this.
Yeah, he's the kind of dude where if he just imagines something, he can draw it and like make it happen electronically, physically. Like he's just like a wizard type guy. But we made these skis, and then around that same time, me and Kale moved into a different house, and we met Dylan Manley. And you meet Dylan Manley once, and you're like, this is a special guy, and we gave him a pair of those skis, and just watching him ski, we were like, we got something here, so
are those skis still anywhere? Like, does Dylan have them in storage?
I'm gonna turn my computer. I have them right here. Oh fuck! Actually, you can't.
It's always the same picture.
For the audio guys, he's got a background right now, so you can't see it.
I have them. They're on my wall.
Sick.
I'm looking at them right now. I'll send you a picture so you can put it in the. I'll send you a picture so you can put it in the video if you want.
What was the top sheet on it?
Nothing.
Interesting.
It was just like a. It was just white. And I spray painted. I just like made stickers, like negative stickers, and like spray painted over them.
Sick.
So when you want to say, let's make a ski company high five, let's do it. And then you have a product. Like how fast from like you guys say, let's make a ski company. And you're like, dope, I got a name. And then this guy's like, dope, I got a vacuum. How long does that take from idea to a vacuum press pair of skis?
Couple months.
Okay. And then what is your investment?
I had a couple thousand. I had a couple $1,000s from graduating that we used to, without getting too technical, like we use it to make the parts to press the skis. So you have to make a mold, obviously. So we went to Home Depot and we got a material called MDF. And then I cut it out. Me and Chris Trueneck did it actually, but cut it out with a router and like put it all together. I would say we were riding them by like, I graduated in December. And we were riding them by like, we had 2 pairs by like March-ish.
Who is the creative genius in your circle for actual construction?
Of the ski itself?
Yeah.
Me, I guess.
That's you? So like you're the one that geeks out and fucking thinks about flexes and how it goes together?
Kind of. I
Or
wouldn't
do you
say
not
that.
think about that, or how does it work for you?
I just took a pair of skis that I had ridden that my friend Sam Hurst let me buy from him.
Okay.
They were a pair of Filthy Rich 0-3Ps that were so broken in that they were almost like snapped. But it was the first time I ever rode a rockered park ski, and I remember being like, they were so, like I said, almost like waterlogged and almost snapped. And I was like, if they just came like this soft and this rockered, that would be dope. Because I'm a very lazy skier. I like being able to, maneuver. So
Fun side fact, just because it's the same time when Henrik first came to Armada 2012, he had the ARV and he broke the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And so his favorite thing, like, so when he does his like big life in 2013, like it's all off the ski, one ski that he broke to make it almost reverse cambered, like what you said,
Yeah.
after just pounding it for like 7 months.
So that's kind of where it came from. And then we went to, so we had, so, okay. So the first ski we made in the garage was just like a regular, like cambered, rockered, whatever. We went through those quick. And then there was this dude in Utah named Howard Wu, who quit his like engineering job to try to make a ski company himself. It was called Wu Banger Ski Design.
Dope
And
name.
yeah, me and Kale went to his office or whatever, and I had not thought about it at all ahead of time about what we were going to do or anything. I was probably like, if I had to guess, I was like violently hungover, probably. So, or like still drunk. I remember because Kale drove, so I was probably still drunk to be honest. But we go to Wu Banger Ski Design, and he had every single mold of every ski he's ever made, like 100+ molds in this where they take a lot of space, so it was just like stacks on stacks on stacks
Yep.
of molds. And we were like, all right, we didn't have any money yet, we didn't know how we were going to do it or anything, but we were like, we want you to make us I think it was 5 pairs of skis maybe. And he's like, well, what do you want? And we were like,
5 pairs of skis.
yeah, right.
Did I stutter?
But he asked me that, and I immediately was like, they got to be like the filthy rich ones that I had. So I was like, give me a 90 mil. All I said was, I need a symmetrical ski that's 90 underfoot, the most rockered you have. And he was like, what? I have like this POW ski that's like, I have this mold from this POW ski that's like 120 underfoot, that's rockered like the K2 Hellbent, you know? And I was like, yeah, just use that mold and make it 90 underfoot. And he was like, okay, dumbass. He's like, okay, dumbass, whatever you want, I guess. And that was it.
So how do you learn about Wu Banger? So this is like an awesome opportunity for you guys to like just like all of a sudden have a dream, find a human that has molds in Salt Lake. So how do you discover from dream of a ski company to learning about a guy in Salt Lake City that has molds in a warehouse?
I think just seeing a couple of them out at Park City.
Okay.
Because there was a pair. Oh, I know exactly what it was. It was a custom ski company, so you could do custom graphics. And there's someone at Park City who was riding a pair of them that had Tupac on it.
Dope.
Yeah. So I remember me and Kale seeing this pair of skis and being like, Tupac skis, what the fuck are those? What's going on? And whoever it was that we talked to was like, yeah, it's this guy Howard Wu, whatever. So then he was like, okay, idiots, well, I'll make you this ridiculous pair of skis. Why do you want this? But okay.
Well, let me ask you, how do you come up with the number 6? Are you like, yo, we need like one for a homie and we're going to sell 5? Like, how do you, we only have X amount of dollars. That's how much we want to make. We don't know what we're doing. What's your concept on 6 pair?
It was me, Dylan, Kale, Luke Roberts, and an extra. That's it.
Okay.
So it's
all about the homies to have a product to test and figure shit out and become a company.
It was like, we got to make a video. Okay. So we got to make a video. So for next year, we got to get these skis made so we can go make a video. Basically.
Dope.
Which we did. And then we rented a minivan. And then drove to Wisconsin, and we hit all Milwaukee spots, and we made a video called Gas.
And this Gas came out by Vishnu in what year?
2013, I think. 2014.
Okay.
No,
So
it was
this is
after
the
that.
dopest concept I think I ever heard, right? Because
It was
when
after.
Armada was created, it was all about taking the biggest names and then like really coming up with a great marketing plan to be like, yo, these guys are like starting a ski company. And then like it was able to make it look like a team that wasn't a team. But what I think is cool about your angle is you said, let's just have a team, and then we're really a team, and then we'll organically build out. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that part is because no one's ever done it like that. Right. Even Jay Leventhal, when he put together the original line team, that to me was the original, like, wow, he knew who Scogan and Chris Osnes and Eric Pollard, Dash Long,
Yeah.
all these like crazy different people from different locations and put them on blast and gave them like 2-page spreads of sequences. So what I'm looking at you, it's like the closest I can think of what it'd be possible in the skateboard culture, right? If I knew enough 5 homies in Minnesota, I could get some decks pressed and be like, yo, let's go put out this video. So I just want to give you your props on the concept, you and your team, because it's like that's what I think is the best way to start something, because everything in skiing is always, let's make it look bigger than it is, and then we have to catch up to it. That's the business plan. So the idea that you're saying like, yo, we're not even big, we got to make it big. It's a hustle. No one does the hustle like that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. I think the thing was Dylan Manley, of just like meeting Dylan and seeing the way that he skis and the way that he thinks, and just being like, we got something here. We can build a company around this dude, which was smart.
So Dylan was like the Jordan of the team.
Yeah, I mean,
he was the guy everyone was gonna.
Yeah, he was someone who nobody really knew who he was, but if you saw him ski in real life, I mean, to this day, you see him ski in real life, you're like, what the fuck is this red-haired, like, Tasmanian devil-ass dude, you know what I mean? So...
Where is he from?
He's from upstate New York.
Okay.
Who was he skiing for before you guys?
So, no one. Mike Hornbeck gave him a pair of Armada Halos, so he was riding those. And then when me and Kale and Dickie had the thing with Elon, we were like, yo, we're going to start a ski company. We want you to do it with us. But, like, we don't have skis yet. But here's an extra pair of Elons. So we, like, sublet our sponsorship, you know?
You sponsored him with Elon.
Yeah, like we sublet our sponsorship to him in the meantime. And he was already making headway himself. Like, he rode for Saga at the time. And so that was like definitely an important piece was, and we just, you know, we hated the same stuff basically. We just realized that we looked at skiing a different way, that we could make a company based around non-resort skiing, you know?
And that's what I was trying to get to before, is like, because everything I've ever created, movies, companies, there's all we united about hating the same thing. Right. And it was like, got us excited to create something, and not just hate, because you're not a hater when you create something to replace the idea. And that's the most motivating, because you can either sit around and talk about it and smoke and drink, or you actually go fucking actually do something and sit around, smoke and drink and create it.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was just like, there was just a missing piece of the ski world. There was just no company based exclusively around street skiing. So we were like, we're gonna go to Wisconsin and make this video. My dad gave me I asked my dad for, and you know, my dad's a hard ass, but he always believed in me. Even though he was very hard, he's a tough guy, but he was like, you know, I think you got something here. Like, he came to visit me in Utah, and he saw kind of what was starting to, I showed him the skis we made and all that, and he was like, all right, fucking idiot. Maybe you got this. So
here's where we got to give the Midwest respect, because as Midwest parents, like same with my father, like he just says still to this day, like, hey, is that a smart decision, stupid? So it's just questioning what you do to make yourself better. But most Midwest parents like grow up, wake up, do their job, do everything they're supposed to do in life. So the best thing a parent can ever see in a child is someone actually take control of their own destiny and actually do more, because when said and done, to create a pair of skis, the amount of work you had to do for nothing, not for a grade, not for a paycheck, not for anything. So when you see your kid put in 100 hours, 200 hours, 300 hours into something that has no reward, that's why the best thing about Midwest parents.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you might be stupid, but you worked harder than me. And if you worked harder than me, then you might be onto something.
Yeah, I think my dad, he's retired now, but he was a doctor. He's the hardest working person I've ever met in my life. But I think deep in his heart, he's a rebel. He's a guy that grew up in Ohio and had a very conformist upbringing, like very conservative. But I think deep in his heart, like he wanted to be an artist. He wanted to do something different, but he didn't, because that's not how he was raised. So he took
and no one in his generation did.
Right. He took like a safe path. So he saw me being like, I'm going to film school, I'm going skiing, whatever. And I think he kind of was like, he kind of saw like, okay, like you said, like I was trying extremely hard. And so that's kind of what, like I said, he always supported me, but it wasn't until I showed him, I was like, this is my friend Dylan. These are my friends. They're very good at skiing. Like, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then I was like, can I borrow some money? And he was like, yeah. I ended up paying him back. I borrowed $10,000 from my parents to make the first 6 pairs of skis and then go on this trip to Wisconsin to make this video.
So you are the single financial founder of the company? You're the investor?
Me and then Kale put a little bit of money in. Kale put in like 1,500 or so. But okay. I put in 10K to make it happen, and then we made this video, and then we didn't really have
I want to say, first of all, big up parents.
Yeah.
As the end of this whole point to get you to this point of this video and investment in a ski company. The next conversation piece is going to be all about how public received your video. But I need to take my 2-hour pee. I so apologize, because I drink a 40 in a daytime and drink 4 coffees since waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. So let me take a pee, and then we're going to start the whole beginning of this fucking ski company.
All right.
I'm fucking stoked. My apologies. Lucky I got the world's smallest bladder, but not so luckily. Might happen again.
You're good.
We're good. We didn't really.
Awesome.
We're just catching up on.
So now when I find it, like I see the way you guys united, see the vision, like you're going to put out this video and you're going to show people how ill you are and what your view on skiing is. But now you have this investment. You made 6 pair of skis. You got this probably ill video. I'll ask you on how people viewed it. But the whole point of the video is to make people want your product, right? And see your vision, right? And sell some skis to make money and pay your dad back. Because you got to pay more than the investment on the skis that the 6 people are skiing on.
In a perfect world, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of why you could ask your dad for money, right? You're not asking him for money to give you and you won't pay him back. You're saying, hey, Dad, if I create this company, we're going to make skis in the future, and I'm going to be able to pay you back. In a nutshell, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I ended up paying him back $100 a month.
But that's what I'm saying. You still have a way of making money. You're not saying, Dad, I want to make a ski company and then go work at Burger King
Oh, I'm still working. I am working at a. I'm working.
Okay, so that was your leverage. You say, I don't know where this is going, but I still have a way of paying you back because you see me work my whole life.
Yeah, I had like 2 different jobs at the time.
Okay.
So I was working at a pizza place, and then I was working at Canyons doing parking while also doing this.
So your first movie comes out. What was the name of it?
Gas.
Gas, fall 2013.
This was 2015.
15. So the year after the Olympics.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is a big year. Skiing is
Yeah.
pretty fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like at the highest level, like I'm just like the only thing I'm doing at this point is being the invitational.
Yep.
Right? There's nothing else other than that where I'm really doing anything. And you gotta be coming in on this idea. And I can see how urban skiing, this is before real ski, right? The urban X Games part, it was backcountry at this time, 2015.
Yep.
And so you're focused on this now, which is dope because there's definitely a loss. No, because anyone that's grown now, even Armada after a decade, they understand urban skiing marketing means more customer service calls. So you're ignorant enough to not think this is an idea of why urban skiing needs urban skis. And I don't think you're thinking about the stress of customer service and how many pairs you're going to have to replace. And
There wasn't.
yes, and so that made you ignorant to be like, fuck yeah, because urban skiing's awesome. Right? Like, think about this. We'd made Phil's keynote skier 2013. That's pretty much all urban skiing.
Mhm.
I'm fucking so into urban skiing at this point, as far as what's creative and what can be different and what can be worked on. You guys notice this difference, put out this first movie. What's internet like at this point? Like, is it new schoolers that people have the most comments? And how do people see your brand that's not even a brand yet, really?
People liked it, but I actually remember. I've said this before, but so we had those 6 pairs of skis, and that we had the one extra that we didn't use or whatever, and I remember I spent all the money going to Wisconsin, renting a van. We make the video, and I was like, all right, well, we're definitely gonna sell this one extra pair. Like, how could we not, And then we fucking did not. We did not. We did not sell.
How did you try to sell it?
We had a website.
Okay, and so you released the movie.
Yep.
And then you had one pair of skis for sale, and the movie was out.
And the movie was out, and then nothing happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so that was my first big failure, I guess. That was my first adjustment to being like, you can try as hard as you can at something, and then just like nobody gives a fuck, which is a healthy thing to learn.
Very healthy.
When you're trying to make stuff, is that you're not entitled to success at all. You can try as hard as you want and make something great, and people can just be like, fuck you. So that was important. That was important. Learning. And then we were like pretty much flat broke.
So did any of the skis break? So you guys all filmed urban movie, and then you all had one pair of skis. What's going on? Like, everything held up the whole year, and everyone ready to go to the second year?
They were all right, but they definitely got a little bit damaged. But I didn't know. We were told I didn't, like I said, like I didn't have a plan. I was still fucking very much like on drugs, like blacked out on benzos like every day.
How do you get it? Like, just out of curiosity, were you into drugs before you went to Utah, or was it involved there? And then the stuff that you got involved in, like, it doesn't sound like just weed. So, how do you get involved in it? Is it party scene? Is it school scene? Is it ski scene?
It was just like getting prescribed prescription drugs for like very real mental problems and then just abusing them.
Okay.
And then I had this neighbor who was like, it was all good until I had this neighbor who was like a caretaker for these like elderly people. And this elderly woman would just give her all her prescriptions. So then it was just like fucking whatever you wanted, dude. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you wanted. And that was luckily that was like pre-pressed pill era. So everything that I was getting was like legit. You know, if
So
I
when you say anything prescribed, is this how you experimented with drugs? You experimented prescriptions? Because I mean, that's not the normal human path, right? It's like weed,
yeah.
mushrooms,
I
alcohol.
think just because my dad is a doctor, I think I was something I was comfortable with.
Okay, because you knew exactly what would happen.
Oh yeah.
The feeling that is.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I was taking a lot of this drug called Flexeril, which is like a muscle relaxer.
And did you take it for any injuries or just for fucking recreation?
Both. I was taking a lot of Vicodin. I was taking a lot of Flexeril. I was taking a lot of Klonopin, a lot of Xanax.
So it was all recreation when you're fucking mixing all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was mixing pills on like a dangerous level for years.
Okay.
While drinking as well. I don't really know. I guess I just have a high tolerance or got very lucky. There's definitely times where there's definitely times I remember being like going too far and being like, oh boy, this might be it, you know? But I always woke up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd
Flexeril.
be crazy.
Flexeril was the one that was the muscle relaxer one was a really crazy one. It just would make you into like a puddle, and then I fell asleep at a stoplight once. I like nodded out at a stoplight, which was pretty cool. But I had my foot on the brake.
So if you're at this level, are you with all homies that are at that level, or do you have homies that are like, yo, you fucked up?
Yeah, they were like, "What are you?" They were like, they knew that like that I was. It's hard to explain. It's like we were all fucked up, but I was definitely the worst. I was definitely like out of control. But
And to be fair, you guys are 22, so like you could just be drinking every night at 22, and you're fucked up when you look at it. But one big picture, that's 22. Maybe that's just what they did every day.
yeah,
So
I mean,
it's really hard to evaluate your friends when they're fucked up.
I mean, I was drinking in the morning and shit. It was rough, but yeah. I mean, I guess people just kind of were like, I. The thing is that I was always very good at doing drugs, so like I could keep it together. Like I could be like very fucked up and still be like fine-ish. You know what I mean? I wasn't like getting arrested. I wasn't like getting in fights. I was like falling asleep.
Yeah.
I was falling asleep places, certainly. But like I wasn't causing myself any like real problems. I was definitely keeping it together, I guess.
So that's why I could just go on indefinitely because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not so bad. I'm starting a business. You know?
Yeah, so I'm
That
saying
is just the hardest time period. No matter how good your homies are in your early 20s or even in your 20s, like everyone's trying to figure it out. So like it's really hard to see if your friend has a problem because everyone's trying different shit. Like it's really hard unless
you don't have a real world schedule or responsibilities. It's just like, oh, like I just hung out with these guys and all they did for 4 years was homework and drink, and then now we're graduated and there's just no homework. Like what's the big deal?
yeah. And
Okay, so now I'm super curious. You got a movie out, you have one pair of skis, you have a feeling of defeat, but you got still a crew and you have a company, and you now are you starting to make a goal? Are you saying we're making another team movie, we can sell this pair of skis next year? Or is everyone like, oh shit, all of my skis are broke, how are we going to film again? Like what is it now going into year number 2 of your brand that you guys are sitting down and saying, let's make a movie, let's do XYZ, make a different ski? How are you guys envisioning that year?
we went to SIA in so I had just I had just torn my ACL, so or not. I mean, I tore my ACL in 2013, but I didn't ski for a long time. I was just like filming and whatever, so I didn't really need skis. Um, we were just making it work. I don't know how. Don't know how. Everyone's skis were really fucked up. We had some skis that were made by Ramp as well. I used some of that $10,000 to make a bunch of like really shitty skis from Ramp, so that kind of like held us over. But we went to SIA, now it's Outdoor Retailer, but we went to SIA and we got with the very, very last of that $10,000, we got like a booth. Booth is a stretch. It was more like a locker, basically,
Okay.
or like a shelf, like a small shelf.
Okay, that makes
Where
sense for the price.
where we went to SIA, and when you go to SIA, when you pay for the thing, you get like a directory
Yep.
of factories. And the first factory was a place called GP87, run by this dude in China who's from Northern California named Dan Agundes. And we got in contact with him at SIA. He happened to be there, and we met with him. We met with his people. He wasn't even there. We met with like his workers. I don't really know. We like went to this condo. It was crazy. We went to like this condo across the street that they like rented for like business meetings. And we went in there and like told them what was up. Like we did this, we did that, and they're like, yeah, we can make you skis. We need $15,000 and we can get it started." And I was like, "Where the fuck am I gonna get $15,000, bro? I'm already working. I'm working two jobs. Uh, it was bleak, seemed bleak, but I realized that." And this again, like many success stories, this comes back to just being a child of privilege. For every successful business, most of the time it is a supportive it's a rich kid with a supportive family, essentially, that believes in them. And it's no difference here. So my dad sold his practice, and put money away for my brothers and I into like a mutual fund. And I realized in my drug-addled brain that I had access to this, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's it." Well. So I needed 15 bands quickly. So I contacted my dad's financial guy, Jim Wozniak, and I was like, "Listen, I started this company, like we're gaining steam. I swear to God it's gonna work. I swear to God."
Wait, so do you go over your dad's head, or do you go, "Dad, can I contact the guy
Went
first?"
over his head. For sure went over his head. So yeah. So he called my dad and told him.
For sure he did.
Sure.
My financial guy better call me too.
And my brother and my dad, my brothers heard about it somehow, and my mom, whatever. And because they're intelligent people with life experience, and I think as much as they didn't want to admit it, they knew that I was fucking losing. I was a little out of control.
Yeah.
They were like, "Don't do this," or they weren't like, there's nothing. It was technically my money, so they were like, "Make sure this is the right move." And I was like, "I don't give a fuck. I don't even know if I'm gonna live." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was so out of my mind. I was like, "I don't give a fuck. Whatever."
But even if you're not, I'm going to put in perspective, you're 25. Like, I didn't think, I was just thankful I was like alive at 25. I didn't have any negative thoughts, but I didn't have an idea of what tomorrow was or 10 years.
Right.
And I think it's a pretty normal feeling in your mid 20s to not have a clue about tomorrow and think it doesn't exist, because how the fuck do you know? So I just want to put that in, because I think it is when you're creating, it's very important, because tomorrow is not for sure. And when you look at life like that, whether in an unbalanced state or good mental state, it's still the truth. Tomorrow, you don't fucking know. So I just want to give you the power of creation. It's important to have that belief that tomorrow doesn't exist, whether negative or positive.
Yeah, so I mean that was definitely my mindset, and everyone in my family was like, "This might be a really bad move. Like, what are you doing?" Except for my oldest brother, Neil, was like, who was someone I always looked up to because he's a musician. He dropped out of college, and just through hard work and just like never giving up, like made his way in the jazz scene in Milwaukee and Chicago. And
Why do you think he supported you?
because he knew that him and I had the same mindset. We were very stubborn, and that like I was gonna do it anyway, no matter what anybody said, because that's how he was. And so he was like, "Yeah, fuck it, drain it, do it." And I was like, "Okay, hell yeah." That's all I had to hear. You know what I mean? I had to hear one person be like, "Fuck, you got it, fuck it." So I did, and that's the last money that I invested in the company. That was it. From that 15K, I flipped it like drug dealer style, just like over and over and over. Like paid 15K for a down payment because we were the first company to sign on with this new factory. They were really generous with me, so they were like, if you pay half the amount of the order, we'll send you the skis. Like you're good, which is pretty unheard of. But
Yeah.
he just trusted me because I don't know, he just did.
Well, it's how you need to create, right? You
Yeah.
fucking front the money, they create the product, and then they know they're fronting the product to get the second payment back.
But I had
And
no
now
like
it's like you have to front the money, and
yeah
then you have to front the money again on delivery,
yeah
and it's not an equal balance how it is with a new company that you get to work with. And this is just normal in business, right? So
yeah
whenever you can work with startups as well, they understand that you need to trade off to build together. So
yeah
you obviously found an awesome business partner.
yeah. I just had no credit or anything. Like it was just basically my word. It was like, all right, you send me the skis, they're gonna sell.
Why did you think they were going to sell after being defeated on not selling one pair?
Because I'm the man, dude.
I feel you.
No, I don't know. I just knew that, like, I just knew you're onto something. I could just feel it.
Well, what other ski companies were out at the time? Like, what was this? Did you think that any other ski companies were even cool at that point, or were you like, "Yo, I know this is cool, and so other people are gonna think this is cool"? Like, what was?
Yeah, basically. I mean, HG skis existed, but I don't know. Other than that, it was like,
So you really didn't think anything on the market was cool?
not really.
Awesome.
So that's how you had the confidence because you're like, "There's a gap here, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna make something cool and fill that gap."
I mean, it was very arrogant and very short-sighted, but sometimes that's like what it takes, you know?
You can't not create it. Like, dude, like every movie I think is the illest movie I ever made. Like, I'm like, yo, but I'm just thinking it's the illest in my own world, right? And I only make movies because I didn't like other people's movies. That's how I started. I'm like, yo, I don't like that shit. And then, like, when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I made what I like.
Yeah.
Shit's the illest.
I mean, in reality, I was just like arrogant, fucking. I lacked life experience to know just how just how reckless I was being.
You're not. I want to say this quote because I might have said it on the show before, but if not, then people need to hear it. You'll always hear every rapper like say, I'm the best, right? And then you hear a billion people say it. I finally heard like a good definition of it in 2002. So I was like 22. And I remember 50 Cent, like he had this interview on this Beef DVD. And he goes, show me a rapper who doesn't think he's the best, and I'll show you a rapper who's not the best.
Yeah.
So I've always used that mentality personally. So that's why I can appreciate what you say, because I do think I'm the best, man. It's not out of ego and it's not about comparison. It's about I'm the best me that's going to make the illest shit because I'm inspired by what not to make, but you're shit. You can beat that. But no, I just want to make sure you're appreciated.
Talk to him, baby.
It's not an ego thing, you know. It's definitely a confidence thing. And when walking the fine line between confidence and cockiness, if you don't have that confidence, that borderlines fucking cockiness, you're not going to create shit because you don't believe in yourself enough. You know?
I just remembered I had a moment that was very. I've always wanted to tell him this in real life if I ever see him again, but I'll tell you what made me think I could do it, actually. I remember vividly now what actually made me think I could do it. We were at Mount Hood, and it was raining and shitty out. And we were in the lodge at Mount Hood trying to dry our clothes. And Mike Hornbeck was just in there, chilling. And he knew what Vishnu was somehow. Because he's tapped in, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah, he watched the edits. He was in.
But he saw our skis and was like, is this Vishnu? Like, what is this? And we were talking, and he was like, instead of being like, oh, haha, like, good luck, whatever, he was like, you guys should make a lookbook, like a video lookbook. And I was like, okay, Mike Hornbeck, Like, I was like, damn, my fucking hero.
Did you know what he meant?
Yeah, but it was just like, damn, my one of my skiing heroes is just right here in front of me, like, telling me that this could work, basically.
But, dude, he's inspired by you for sure. Like, he knows where he comes from.
Yeah.
So he knows where you probably came from. And then he's like, no way you created something. And then it's like, same way I have the respect for you. I go, no fucking way that happens.
That was really important. Just being in the Mount Hood Lodge and being like, whoa, one of my heroes like thinks I can do this.
Sick.
That was a huge moment. Huge moment. Maybe he remembers it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know, but that was huge. So that's what we did. We made a video lookbook that you can still find on newschoolers.com. Vishnu Freeski video lookbook. I believe it was 14-15 or 15-16. I can't really remember, but just made a very like I just knew that we were onto something. I don't know how else to say it. I just knew that we were doing something. We were onto something. And
all right, so you got the vibe. You fucking make China happen. Like, whether make the meeting happen, find the solution, find the money, fucking pay the people. Yep. Are you releasing? How many units then are you making for fall? How are you selling them? Like, are you doing like, releasing this fall pre-orders now? Are you doing that very first year with confidence after not selling one?
Yep.
Wicked. So now you have pre-orders still off a movie that you didn't sell one pair of skis off. You have no new media. Did you put out your lookbook in that spring?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. How many pairs did you make?
I think we made 20 177s and 20 183s.
So less than 50 pair. 42 pair. Yeah. So 42 pair, you're paying back everything. Did you sell out over summer pre-sales?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes. Why?
Yeah, because your media is from your movie that came out last fall. You didn't sell the one pair. You went and did your hustle. I understand how you got money in production. But now I don't understand why you have a new refound hype in the summer to pre-sell something that hasn't existed. Are you guys at summer camps? Are you making edits?
It was a lot of
Instagram is hot for the first time ever, 2015.
That's probably why.
Pipe up wins.
That's probably why.
Okay.
And then I remember going to the fucking coffee shop in Welch's. You know the one?
I lived there.
Yeah, I remember going there, and I had never used Illustrator before or Photoshop ever, which is crazy because I went to art school, but I was fucking, And I remember making the first top sheets. So it was probably May, and they were due by the end of May. And I remember I'm looking at them right now, they're right here, the fish scale top sheets, the first things I ever made on Illustrator when I didn't even know how to use it. I remember being like, well, fucking, hopefully this works, I guess, you know? And it did. I don't think we sold out, but we sold enough. And I think it was just like we put out that street video, and then all that year we just made park videos. The series that I made called Joint Pains. So I think that's what continued just building the hype or whatever. And then it was like pre-sale. And then I remember selling the skis on the pre-sale for like a ridiculously low price, just to be like, we got to make these people an offer they can't refuse. I remember the skis being like $300.
Okay, so do you think your price was a big selling factor,
Yeah.
or did you have a vibe at the time yet? Like, did people look at you guys as heshers? Did certain people gravitate for you because there was such a niche that didn't have the love that you were giving? You know, like,
We were just at Park City, just like acting out. We were just at Park City, like making videos, being crazy, having fun, and
You guys had already been in the scene for like 5 years at that point as
Yeah.
friends. Yeah, like you've been around.
right.
did anyone else in your circle have a company at that time? Because I mean, like, I guess at your beginning, you could look up to Saga 2012, 13 as kind of a local company, but did you have any other people that were just creating a company around 2013 or 14? Any outerwears, any friends?
No, not really. And I think that's kind of what made us. We were just so new and so different, because just kind of on accident, we were just very relatable. You know, like you said, so many companies build top down, and we were building bottom up. And I think that was pretty relatable for a lot of people, where it was like, this is a new thing that nobody else knows about. I got to get on this shit.
So you did it. So it's super grassroots. So anyone who's getting involved, all those 42 pair, 40, whatever.
Yeah.
You're on the team, man. You buy a pair of that, you're at your ski hill, you represent.
Yeah.
Like, right? Because it's no one else. It's like, say, like, the 8 people that have this inspired ski.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna fucking ride that and be like, that's what I represent.
Yeah.
And so I imagine when you start that kind of shit, the ownership has to be awesome, right? Like the guys that are partaking in the creation of your company, spending the $300 to buy a pair of skis. If something goes wrong with your product, they're forgiving and they want to talk to you about it rather than be like, fuck you, give me a new pair. And you're like, I can't, we're sold out.
Yeah.
So like, and I see how long it's taken to grow, and I still see the struggles, but the point is you still exist. So during these beginning years, like, what is it that allows you to go from more than 42 pair? Like after that first year, you're selling, like, are people starting to reach out to you and start to help you market the brand because they're ill and they want to represent your company? Or get sponsored by you? Because I'm guessing you get a lot of sponsored questions at that point.
Yeah, I think just the whole pre-sale model is what allowed us to do it. Like, as long as I had some sort of money to put down, the factory was down to like make skis, even if, you know, it went from 40.
And let's give you guys credit. In 2014 and 15, I don't think any other ski company in the world did pre-orders. Other than J Skis, but J Skis, they had release dates. So it wasn't pre-orders. They just had a limited number without a pre-order. They were already producing and stuff like this. So was there any other company that did pre-orders for
The
existing?
first company that did it was Revision Skis, but then they just didn't ship them. So yeah, so that was something we also had to sort of battle against, was that had just happened. So I
So
think
people felt like it was a scam, the whole concept.
Maybe, but as soon as they started actually being delivered, I think that was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like I wouldn't be here without Dan Agunda as the factory guy, just being like, I mean, there for a couple of years there, like I was paying my taxes with the money from the presale, so I would owe money to the government, put owe money to the government on April 15th, put the skis up for sale on May 1st, use the money I made from the presale to pay my taxes that were 2 weeks late, and then whatever was left, put a down payment on skis and just hope for the best. And I did that for like 5 years, 4 years.
Well, good survival tactics.
I mean, it fucking worked, dude. I don't know.
So you've always been the one doing the payments and like all the business admin stuff.
Oh yeah.
Even at the peak of you just eating pills like they're candy. Like it was always just like, oh yeah, Emmett's got it.
So what were your dreams like? So like after you get going and you're like digging a hole and being creative and being creative. So you have to be more passionate every time you dig your hole deeper because you're so involved, you're so entrenched.
Yeah.
What is now you made this first year movie, like what's your next big dream? Other like is it ski production? Do you desire design, flexes, graphics? Do you desire a film? Do you desire a great urban rider? What are you looking at as creating your company as an urban ski company?
Just wanted to keep making videos that were different than what other people had made, I guess. Just like the act of going out and making the video was really what was motivating us. It was mostly Dylan Manley, to be honest. Like Dylan Manley is the driving force. To this day, he's the person that gets me out of the house to go skiing. Like,
and what made you guys different?
What made Vishnu different?
Yeah, like you wanted to make something different, and I'm ignorant, just so you know. For those first 5 years when you were so fucking gun ho, and you probably still are because you're still here.
Yep.
But like, what was it that you were doing different, and you thought you were doing different than the shit you didn't like?
We were hitting spots that didn't count. We were doing tricks that didn't count, that weren't real tricks. We were, doing shit that the mainstream of skiing would call gay, basically. And now, all these years later, everyone is doing it.
And what is that like? Things that are more simple, that are not dangerous or death-defying?
Yeah, right.
Okay, because that was in this time period. So I want to say, like, when I'd watch it, I was living in Utah, and I'd watch movies with Tanner. And so when we watch a step movie from 2011 or 12, first thing we'd say is like, fuck, man, that was so gnarly, but like I thought they were all going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then like say we deal with someone like Eric Pollard or Mikel Disno, where it's like you can be so smooth, but you don't have to die.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I appreciate it because even like, because I know what you're saying, because that was what was needed. Contests were at like a death level, movies were at a death level. And it's just like, man, there's no fun if you can't ski tomorrow. And no one was understanding that, I think, in 2014, because everyone wanted to win something.
I think people really you look at some of the comments from back in the days, like some of our early videos, and it's all people that are like, this isn't real. I mean, it's still to this day, like, haha, skiing on picnic tables, whatever. But it's like, this is what the whole idea was. We made this video that you could also make if you wanted to. And I think that was really the key. That was really the thing. That was really the thing where it's like, you see Dylan Manley, or Luke Roberts, for example, like if he wanted to do a 4-on to a kink rail, he could and did and does, but it was like we wanted to make videos that were accessible to people who weren't as good at skiing. Like we weren't. The whole thing about Vishnu is that we were never and still are not a part of the industry. never ever. You know, we've never sought approval from anyone within the ski industry, and I think that was what was important, is being like, you can do your own thing. You can go skiing with your friends and ski at a playground and make an entertaining video. And that was in an era where everyone was like Wu-Tang tall tee 40-foot closeout, and what we were doing was just so the polar opposite of that. But you have people like Dylan and Kyson and Luke, who were very, very good at skiing, who were choosing on purpose to do things that were, you know, didn't count or whatever.
When did you see people like fans gravitate towards that, right? Because if they were so thrown at all these amazing spectacles on skis and competition and film, like, and then finally the don't counts, when did kids, like, whether it's through sales or views on YouTube videos, when did you really notice that you're like, wow, like, I believed it. I knew they were out there, but we're just finally touching them.
Pretty immediate. It just grew year by year. It was pretty instant. The feedback was pretty instant, where it was like, this is different, you know. And also the way that we were making the videos, like we were filming on my VX and on my GL2, or not my GL2, Dylan's GL2. So, you know, tape cameras. Yeah. When everyone was sort of, to their credit, HG Skis was also doing this, but there was not really like a West Coast type of, or Western United States group that was like filming on these old toaster cameras. So the whole thing but it wasn't on purpose. It was just what we were into. We weren't what I mean is, like, we weren't trying to be different. We just were.
Yeah, because that's what you had access to. You had these cameras.
Yeah. So that was important. I mean, yeah, we saw the feedback pretty immediately. It definitely, like, pretty quickly became just a thing that people gravitated towards because they wanted to be different, much like I wanted to be different when I was in high school, you know?
So what I think is your awesome part of your story is you're still here after 11 years. So do you remember that we went from 6 pair the first year to 42 the second year?
Something like that.
You know your numbers, like your first 5 years of, like,
no.
Like, do you know when you hit your first 100, your first 500, your first 1,000, or these crazy numbers where you're like, this can't be real?
Not really. I tried not to think about it the whole time. I was just trying not to think about it.
So let's just use your latest one. How many pair in the last year did you sell last fall? And was that your biggest year?
I've ordered the same amount of skis for the past 3 years because I've just been trying to sort of keep a lid on it, trying to keep it from getting too big, too out of control, because it's just me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember...
We could also mute it if you want to give a number, but you don't want the number to be public.
Yeah, so if I ask stuff that you don't want to say, just whatever. We can always take
I've ordered, it's cool. I've ordered 1,200 pairs of skis the last probably 3 or 4 years. Because I saw the post-COVID outdoor boom, and I knew that it wouldn't last. And then I saw inflation, and I definitely run this company off of instinct, just like what feels like the right move. So, you know, the focus is always on having as little inventory as possible. So I knew that, like, 1,200 pairs was sustainable. It was enough money to pay people for me to live reasonably and to just keep things going.
So if you hold those numbers, let's call you a micro brewery. That's sustainable, it makes it fun. It makes it be able to produce product, makes everything be able to go next year.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Like, everyone else is about increasing numbers. right? When you sit at your meeting, you're a one-man show. So your idea is self-happiness. It's like, how do I be happy and sustain? These are your two biggest things as an individual, right? Like sustain, maybe. Happy is hard word.
No, I don't think that's not.
Let's say sustain, right? Trying to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, is that something? Because I think it's awesome what you do, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, if it's obtainable by so many people because of opportunity, the people we're talking to, right? It's a luxury sport. Mm-hmm. So when I look at it, I'm like, the only thing that kills stuff is greed, because every ski company I've known in the history of ski company, Rosno's been owned by like 40 different owners over 100 years. It's always lost money. Every company has always lost money. So I find it fun if greed could not take advantage of a company and actually make something sustainable, because it's not about like, how do I hire 5 more employees next year and then triple fucking production? So is this sustainable? Like, for the idea that you want to wake up and do it tomorrow every day?
I mean, I think if I went any bigger than I do now, I might die myself. Okay. I work a lot. It's a lot of work. So, I'm boxing and shipping the skis myself.
What's the most unfun part about doing this shit for 10 years, 11 years?
Doing podcasts.
The most unfun. I don't really have fun.
Really don't get a satisfaction when people love your product or say, wow, man, I love your brand, or I can't believe it, because you put your life into it. So you got to have some pat on the back from the
fun is the wrong word. I mean, I will give myself like 30 seconds to be like, hey, nice job. And then I got to do other shit.
You only need 1 second to keep going. You know what I mean? Like, if there's no gratitude on the other end for production of, like, you can do it. I can create in my closet and be satisfied. But at the same time, I know if one other person cares, I go, what the fuck, you cared? Right? If one person listens to this podcast, I go, what? You listened 4 hours? You crazy. I mean, so it's a crazy feeling. So I'm just wondering, like, I don't know, there's got to be something that's pretty awesome, man. Like, you ill. Like, I heard so much about you and your brand of what you created, and like from all over the country, the world. I mean, fuck, you have like what, for a Norwegian skiing for you.
Finland as well. No, I mean, like, look, I'm eternally grateful for anyone who's even bought a hat or whatever. Like, anyone who trusts me enough to give me their money is crazy to me. To this day, it's crazy to that people will give me their money for this thing that we thought of in my living room. But at the same time, like, to the way that and without that customer trust, without all these kids that love Vishnu, like, I would not be here, obviously. And I think about that every day, like how
obviously after 11 years, you can't be crazy if people retrust you over and over, and because they can ruin you, right? Yeah. These people can ruin you online and say, worst product ever, whack brand, and easily one bad year could demolish such a small run.
That's why I have sort of trained myself to not. Okay, on the one hand, I am incredibly grateful for anyone who's ever bought skis or clothes or whatever, and that's why I do it, is just to, like, to deliver a good product to people that like skiing. At the same time, though, like, the poison to a brand is resting on your laurels and being too being content, being satisfied. So, like, I only really notice criticism.
Okay.
Because I've like trained myself to be that way.
Yeah, because you're supposed to fail.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Like, if I took all of the compliments people gave me to heart, I would just quit.
Yeah.
So I've sort of trained myself to be grateful and to be grounded and to understand that, like, have been extremely lucky, and I've gotten the support of people across the world, which to this day I can't believe people give me their money, and it makes me pretty emotional sometimes, honestly. But at the same time, I have to remember that like uh, that's what's supposed to happen, sort of.
No, it all makes sense.
Like I
And all
can't
I'm
take.
saying from this outside in our one conversation in life, keep going. It's fucking dope because everything's about longevity. So if you can do it like this, there's obviously something people support. And as you build that fucking crew of humans, it only gets stronger, right? You meet more people, people that support you, want you to go further. They were with you for 5 years, 10 years, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's an idea where it's like, it's not like, even though you say you're on your own today, you're not on your own like you were 5 years ago. And so that's what I think is pretty awesome. And this is all a high five, big up yourself conversation, because sometimes I believe it's good to have these with random humans. And it's fun. And me as a fan of our sport and twin tip skiing, like, I think it's really cool to see, because I think you're the most odd. It's like the kid that started Scards, like trading cards, or Owen, who makes a print magazine. It's like things that you shouldn't do, but you do it because you love it.
Yeah.
And it needs to be done, because nothing would go forward if people like you don't do it. So pretty awesome.
The key that I've learned is discipline and being appreciative of people and being thankful, but not dwelling on that. And just thinking like, these people have no real reason to give me their money if I'm not delivering. And so I need to deliver. And the way to do that is by being very hard on myself. That's how it has to be. And I think that's the case for a lot of people that own businesses.
Well, think how many problems you had in the last week.
Me?
So, yeah, just if you're doing a business, I'm guessing you've had problems you've had to solve in the last
Never
week.
had a problem in my life, man.
Well, I call it to my kids, I call them equations, because I say 1 + 1 can be a problem, but fuck, I don't deal with problems. I just make equations, because they all have an equal sign. And so there's always an answer to a fucking equation. But if you use the word problem, then you dwell on fucking how hard it is. So you're right. There is no problems.
There's no problems. It's just, no solutions, only trade-offs, I guess.
Yeah, forward movement.
I guess, yeah. But
Did you have any early naysayers that ended up coming around and becoming like fans of the brand, or at least respecting it?
many, dude. Yeah. I actually have. There's some people that have. There's one person in particular that has been talking shit to me on the internet for like 10 years.
That's awesome.
He loves you.
To this day, bro.
Are they a real human?
It's from Minnesota.
Fuck yeah. Is he a real, like, do you know, like, does he go by a real name, or is he like?
Of course he's from Minnesota, by the way. But yeah. Obviously he's from the Midwest. But yeah, I don't know. I think
Let's call him out.
I think
Who is it?
he would love that.
Oh, true.
I don't know. I think I get it. I would hate me too.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get it. There's nothing that you could say to me that I don't say to myself every single day. So
what does a hater say, like, to you? Are they personal friends of yours, or are they just people on the internet that have a voice?
Is your criticisms against you or the company more typically? Both, yeah.
I don't know. I think, like I said, I'd hate me too, man. I get it. I have hate in my heart.
Got hate in your heart. Let it out.
It is what it is, man. I can't get too mad about it. I've come a long way. I've come a long way as far as handling criticism. It's not handling criticism was something that I was very bad at early on. Very bad. Very bad.
Would you get enraged when people would criticize Vishnu?
Oh yeah. But I've learned over the years to just fucking let it go, you know what I mean? Or try to.
Did you go online? If someone said fuck Vishnu, would you be like, fuck you?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. It just makes you look bad. Ultimately, I just realized that, like, it just makes, that's what, as a person who's from the internet, who is a hater, okay, spoken from a hater's heart, what they want is a response.
Fuck yeah, they do.
So you just can't give it to them. Or at least give it to them in a way that's entertaining. That's what I try to do. I try to just be funny. You know, tell people that I'm gonna like kill myself in their front yard, see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come to your house and kill myself in your front yard, okay? And change the course of your entire life.
You're gonna have to look out that window always and see that vision, motherfucker.
But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. I think it used to really upset me. It still can kind of spin me out a little bit if I'm having a rough day or whatever, which I've had a lot of rough days recently, but ultimately they're probably right, is what I've learned. For every negative comment, you know, it comes from a place of things that are probably true in some way.
We were just talking about that with Matei. Matei was getting criticized, and the only criticisms that suck are the ones that you're like, yeah, good point. You know? Where it's like, shit, that is true.
Which is like most of them in some way. Obviously, some way. Sometimes they're delivered in a way that's like completely ridiculous, but ultimately, at its core, like they're probably right in some ways.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it just takes like being mature and adult to be like, okay, thank you for your feedback on my personality. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I don't allow feedback on my personality unless I share dinner out of the table with them.
I guess.
Other
Yeah.
than that,
I mean,
they get no opinion. Gotta know my middle name. You know,
I put
shit like
myself
that.
out there, like, you know, it would be one thing if, like, the more I put myself out there, the more negativity is going to come, and that's just the way it is, man. So, like, you know, get over it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love when people say my name that don't know me personally. It means they're fucking logged on to some website that I'm fucking producing something on.
Yeah, how do you handle it?
I like it because I grew up in there. If you're talking about me, then you're fucking marketing me for free. So if I had a negative movie review and they wrote it in a magazine, I knew that area of space of hate cost the magazine money for ad space. And so I always looked at negative thing as people marketing whatever I put out. And I'm like, you're talking about me? You know my name? What? And I always thought it was just like the biggest compliment I ever could have, just have someone hate me, because I always have the projective, please love or hate whatever I do, because if you don't have an opinion on what I do, why am I putting this effort into it in this world?
I think that's true. I think even early on, and it's still the case, like, especially with top sheets and shit, like, if I make a top sheet that everybody loves, that's a problem. That means I'm not pushing anything forward. If I make a top sheet that 7 people love, one person is like, it's all right, and then 2 people are like, kill yourself, then I'm on to something. Then
the thing, in your era, the haters are the best free marketers, right? Because they're the loudest. In every life, a mean person, an angry person is always the loudest. They're the people that yell. And so when the people that yell that hate you the most, it's like, and I'll ask you about that, this Ankilla kid or something soon. Like when
we're talking Ankilla, we're talking Chris Neltner, dude.
Whoa,
Yeah.
dude, I didn't realize
But
you
like
knew that name.
but like when you hate, you know, your voice automatically gets heard. And so it's like, I'm like, okay, how can I make sure the haters just promote what I do because I'm proud of what I do? And so I always took it as a psychological game. Whereas, like, fuck yeah, that guy who's like mainstream, normal, and cool is talking about me, but I'm doing something not normal, mainstream, or cool. And so I don't know. It's just a fun way to deal with these kind of people when you don't fit into an industry And then, but at the same time, you looked at because you make skis. So you're
Yeah.
kind of there.
I think something that, especially in the internet era, something that I think honesty is the best policy. And like, I think when people are like talking about negative, not just in skiing, but in general, when someone is like, I don't read the comments, I don't give a fuck, it's like, you're lying. You're lying.
Word up. You wouldn't be on social media if you didn't.
When you try hard at something and somebody talks shit about it, it hurts my feelings that I'm a person. But at the same time, like, I put myself out there, so like, you're allowed. It's
Yep.
fine. You know what I mean? I'll get over it. I'm grown. Like, it's fine. But it does
So,
hurt. Of course it hurts my feel. Obviously it hurts my feelings. I'm trying hard at something, but like, I don't mind. I mean, yeah. Do it, whatever.
yeah, you shouldn't because it's like, fuck, man. If you know you wake up and try to make a better ski or something more fun for someone else, that's like the best feeling ever. Whether it's make a ski for your friend or make a video, all these
Yeah.
things are winning.
I just try not to let it affect me. But I mean, yeah, like I said, anyone that says the negative comments or whatever don't bother them or don't affect them is like lying.
Yeah, especially like you guys' generation because there's so many more comments typed out that you read than individual real humans that have comments towards you. Where I didn't grow up in that. Every comment was towards me by another face, another mouth, another like person I could respond to in a reasonable manner. And then they had to think about what they were going to say to me.
Yeah.
Right? You guys like have the rudest shit ever in your life be said to you, and none of this shit would ever be said face to face. And that is
Also,
normal.
I'm from the internet. Like, I was socialized on, like, I'm from the internet. So like 98% of the time people are just trying to be funny. And guess what? They usually are funny. Like,
It's like because you probably find sarcastic friends great, good friends, right? Because it
Yeah,
means
fun.
like it's the biggest sign of affection
Yeah.
when someone can like make fun of you nonstop, and you're like, this is fun to be around. And so this is how all my best friends are. Like, and it's the best thing ever, like to be sarcastic. But when you do it on the internet, you can't like I don't know, it's crazy, man. I can't
It's
imagine.
fine. Yeah, I mean, like I said, as a hater, all that you really, when I see negativity, it's like we all just want to be noticed, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's fine.
Let's transition because Iberg, you've had this question since season 1. Emmett, what is it like running a street skiing company where your main demo is constantly destroying the product? Like, is that a pain in the ass to deal with warranty and what? Just walk us through what it's like to when somebody breaks their skis.
It's more of a problem now than it used to be, for sure. The newer generation of skier kids are way less. Their expectations are insane a lot of the time. So, like, they don't understand that they're breaking their skis on purpose. And so that can be a little bit frustrating. Especially because I mean, really, when I only made 177 and 183 centimeter skis, kids that were buying them were a little older, 15, 16, 17. So they were a little bit more able to understand what was happening. But now that I make smaller skis, it's, 12, 13-year olds that are like, they buy a pair of skis and they expect them to last hitting rails for like 3 years. And it's like, dude, there's no company on earth where that's the case. And if there is, they're very, 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 very expensive. So I wish that there was a little bit more understanding where it's like you're getting a pair of skis for $500. Mostly, your skis are fine, mostly. is kind of how I deal with it. But I deal with it on a case by case basis. You know, if you hit me up and you're reasonable, even a little bit reasonable, then I'm inclined to help you. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's you know, it is what it is.
I had a strange experience. So I posted whenever Emmett was on, years ago. I posted a clip of him talking about how to get free Vishnus. But because it was this excerpt from a podcast, the uninformed people thought that I was Emmett. So I would have people reaching out to me asking for free skis. So I've gotten just a little taste of the customer service that you go through, and there are kids that just straight up be like, "Give me free skis."
Every day.
Every day. And it's just like they would email me, they would message me on YouTube, they'd message me on Instagram, "Give me free skis." And then I would say, I would tell them, "I'm not Emmett." And they would go, "Tell him to give me free skis." That was their pitch.
It's okay. I mean, it's like I said, I'm putting myself out there, and I wish that kids would understand that, like, hitting rails is going to damage your skis. Period. The thing that is nice about Vishnu's is that even if the tip and tail things pop off, even if you crack your edges, generally speaking, your skis are not going to snap like other companies would. In other words, you can have a pair of Vishnu's that have some damage that you can ski for a very long time. So I would say just chill out a little bit. Like the tip and tail thing does not damage the overall integrity of the skis. It just doesn't. Park skis are going to break. The question is, how are they going to break? Are they going to break in a way that makes them not rideable? And the answer with Vishnu is usually not. So even if you get a pair of skis where you have problems, like this happens pretty often. Like someone will get a pair of skis, maybe they get a bad pair, the tip and tail protectors pop off, they hit me up, I say, okay, here's another pair. They end up not even using the other pair that I sent them, because the ones that they got where the tip and tail things popped off are fine as far as skiing goes. They're still rideable. They last the full season, if not longer, right? So that's relatively common where people be like, yo, I thought something happened to my skis. I thought they were fucked. Actually, they're not. Because with a lot of other companies, you get a pair of skis, they start to delam a little bit, and they are completely fucked. But it's just not the case with Vishnu. So even if you get a pair where there's some problems, they're going to be fine. And then the other thing is, there is very little, and it's not their fault. They're young. They don't know any better, but they sort of go out of their way to fuck their skis up. So they do things that older people understand you shouldn't do. For example, leaving your skis on the ski rack overnight, multiple days in a row. So they're getting hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, water seeping into the core. Then you're pulling your bindings out, et cetera, et cetera. So I used to include a little pamphlet about how to take care of your skis. But I realize nowadays, like, no one reads. So there's no point to doing that anymore. But it got to a point this year where if I had an email complaint and I looked at the size of the ski that they had, it was a 168 key or a 171 wet every single time, which are the two smallest skis that I make. So it's mostly an issue of younger kids, which, again, not their fault. They don't know any better. But it's younger kids not taking care of their skis whatsoever, and then also thinking that minor damage means their skis are ruined, which is makes my job difficult. But also, it's part of my job. So it's
Are all your skis direct sold? Are you in any ski shops?
no.
Okay.
Except for, well, I mean, Yomi.
The shop that I'm in right now, yeah. But
Yeah, that could be a technicality though. You want to tell Iberg what Yomi is? It's pretty dope.
Yomi is a ski shop that I didn't start it. I helped to start it. It's owned by this guy named DePoe, who makes one of a kind ski outerwear. Like he makes pants and jackets and hats and stuff like him. Like he sews it all himself. And he was a longtime Vishnu appreciator since high school. And he was like, "Yo, there's no cool cool ski shops in Salt Lake. I want to start one." And then he was nice enough to let me rent this room that I'm in right now that's within the shop. And then I sell skis and then I make clothes out of here. But it's right by the U. It's like on 9th and 9th. So that's been nice because I was getting pretty disillusioned with just like running Vishnu on my phone. Like my only interactions were just like through Instagram, and it kind of started to suck. But having like real life people come by the shop, it's been really fun. It's been really nice.
That's where
Humans are fun.
That's where we recorded episode 100 of Two Planker. It's a good spot. It's a
Nice.
cool thing.
I'm there right now.
Yeah. All right. Just because we're on limited time, you need to tell us what's going on this year. There's been drama.
It's been the fucking worst 5 months of my life, dude. Fucking sucks so bad.
So what happened in year number 11 of Vishnu skis?
Donald Trump got reelected and, moved to his tariff plan. So yeah, it's just been tough. Like I don't want to switch factories. I don't want to change the product. There's so much I could say about it. I don't want to complain about it. There's no point.
Well, let's
So
just
in a
give,
nutshell,
just
your
give the
prices-
reality of it. Yeah, well, give the reality of like what, because people are like, oh, just do it anyways, and we'll just pay more. Like, give the price increase for a pair of skis, just so people understood why.
So
Mission.
up until the day of liberation, American liberation, whatever it was, April 9th.
Second day after April Fool's Day.
Yeah, April 2nd, yeah. Tariffs were at 30% import, which is painful, but doable. And then he put them up to 145%, which would mean in order to make the money ahead of time to get the skis shipped from the factory, I would have had to sell a pair of skis for anywhere from $1,800 to $2,100, which I obviously was not going to do. So I was just going to sort of call it a wrap, like go out on top and be done. That's why I made our latest video called Thanks for Everything, just in case. I wanted to be like, here's a little send off. Just want to say thanks. Here's our latest video, And then very recently he did the 90-day tariff pause thing. So I'm going to make half of the amount of skis that I made last year in an effort to get them done in time to get them imported. It's still at 30%, which fucking still sucks. I would like to say that he put the tariffs in place in 2017. Biden cut them in half, and then he redid them. So I've been paying around $30,000 in import fees to the U.S. government every year since 2017.
Is it feasible to do? So you started in-house with your vacuum thing, right? Is it feasible when you were scaling up? Like how long did you produce so just 1 year before you met the guys at the SIA, right?
Yeah, it's not really a matter of, it's not, my motivations with making skis in China are not financial. I pay about the same amount that I would pay, for example, at Never Summer in Colorado. It's about the same build. I just like the skis. I like how they are. people don't, maybe in the year 2000, it was the case that you could make things cheap in China or whatever. But nowadays, people don't make things in China because it's cheap. They make things in China because they know how to make things.
Yeah.
So that is really my motivation, is the product itself is good and I don't want to change it. It's not like I'm fucking making a bunch of money off cheap labor or whatever. The average labor cost in China is more than Mexico currently by far.
So I guess my question behind that is, like, if you could make it here, you just would want to not continue because you don't feel it could hold the integrity of the product you wish to create.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm not financially motivated whatsoever. If there was a factory in America that made skis the way that Dan Agundes, the wizard, makes them, then I would do it. But it doesn't exist. This guy that makes Vishnu's is the guy that pioneered using bamboo in skis in the early 2000s with Liberty. So he has proprietary methods to making skis that other people don't have. And so I don't want to change it. I would rather not have the company exist than change the product. Yeah.
I want to go back because I thought it was awesome when you told me your story about Camp of Champs and the guy who has Ninth Ward now, and you have a relationship with him since a long time ago. And you guys both have ski companies. So what was his name again?
Nathaniel Dickey.
Yeah, so Dickey. So when did Dickey take over new Ninth Ward era?
Like 2019 or so, I think.
Okay, so when he's doing that, is he like talking to you because you're friends, or do you find out that he got Ninth Ward later? Because to me, it's like kind of an iconic brand. Even when I watched your edit with on the skier trash, the homie with dreadlocks or long hair, that Chip, I don't remember, Kale, he was on Ninth Wards, and that is like hell yeah, and I couldn't figure out which ones I think they might have been the Tosh Pro models.
Yeah, they were.
But so yeah, so was it like are you friends with him at this time when he takes the ski company over?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. He just he moved back to Wisconsin to take over his family's business. He's kind of doing Ninth Ward like very casually. Like he makes 8 to 10 pairs of skis a year, like boutique style.
Okay, I had no idea how it works.
Yeah, just keeping it alive, and then he's got other things he's doing. So he moved back to Wisconsin though, but he's doing great.
How does he, just out of curiosity, as a boutique brand, I see as a hobby? But what does he do to produce 10 pairs of skis? Where does he get them made?
He has them made I believe in Salt Lake.
Okay.
But they're very unreasonable. He's making 10 at a time, so it's like he's not on your vision of what you're trying to create in skiing.
He's
just doing it for the passion. He's just he's just a lifelong skier who loves he's just got other things he's doing, and then he's just sort of running Ninth Ward as he needs to, as he wants to. But yeah, he'll be my friend for the rest of our lives, man. I've been friends with him since high school, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I was just curious because I haven't followed Ninth Ward.
He's a man.
But I've seen they've been alive, and so I was just curious to know like what they're doing. And so I guess as a super boutique, it makes sense to keep a legacy brand alive in case it needs to pop.
He's doing his thing, and I haven't seen him in a while. I'll probably see him soon. I think he's coming out here to visit. So,
Emmett, what was your plan if Vishnu was going to shutter its doors? What would your next life look like? Yeah, was that your actual plan?
I don't know. I had a rough winter, man. It's crazy. I never thought in all the years that I've been doing this that government policy would have any impact on anything that I would do. I never even pictured that. But I mean, I didn't really have a plan. I was like, all right, I'm going to wait. The latest that I can push the pre-sale back is June 1st. So I'm going to wait until mid-May to make an announcement either way. And then on whatever May 12th or 11th, they announced the tariff pause thing. So I was like, well, fuck. All of this time, I was simultaneously like preparing everything for next year while also preparing for the nuclear option. Either way.
Yeah.
So when the tariff pause went into effect a couple days ago, I was like, well, I got these top sheets. I have to run a very abbreviated version of the company this year, though, you know? So half the skis I usually get, half the top sheets pretty much. Just like a version of the company that it's just how it has to be, you know?
For the
It's
record,
crazy.
I never lost faith in you. I've had a lot of people, like a surprising amount of people reach out to me about this issue. And I was like, yeah, it'll probably work out. That's been my stance since everything. Oh yeah, I'll probably be fine.
That was not my stance until like a week ago. Like I was fully preparing for it to be over, basically. Just because, you know, it's very disheartening to have come all this way, and you know, with a lot of ski companies, like they spin themselves into debt and go under. But that's not the case with Vishnu. I have no debt. The company is at its peak, really. I mean, we've never been more poppin'. There's never been more or better videos. It's never been better. And simultaneously, I'm being forced by powers beyond my grasp to stop. And I think that's going to be the case with a lot of small businesses in the United States. I mean, I think, you know, to look at this from a more zoomed out perspective, I think that ultimately whether this administration realizes it or not, the ultimate goal with this is not American manufacturing. The ultimate goal is making it so that you can get whatever you want whenever you want, but it has to be from Amazon. I think that's ultimately the goal, because that's how the American economy has been going for the last 30 years. You know, there used to be 20 airlines, now there's 4. There used to be 12 credit card companies, now there's 2. And I think
That's a reverse monopoly. I agree. When you
I think
study
that's
monopolies at the turn of the century, like
yeah,
the last century,
yeah.
when the Gilded Age, it's pretty much like everything works in circles.
Yeah.
And if you just like study that into the Gilded Age, it's almost there again.
So I think whether he realizes it or not, like that's the case. And we can get it. I mean, we could dive deep into the politics and shit. Like what I will say about this whole thing is people that actually have owned businesses that know what they're talking about have nothing to say to me about this, because they realize just how reckless and stupid this policy is. Whereas people that have never owned a business that don't know what they're talking about are full of advice for me. And that's probably the most annoying part of it, is being told every day about what I should do and shit. And it's like, this is what I've been thinking about every day for the last 6 months. Like you know, I have exhausted all of my options, but you know, I'm going to keep it alive for this year, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, one of the questions on the thing that you posted was, in reality, how close was Vishnu to not making skis? And the answer is 1 week. I mean, literally, the answer is 1 week away from it. So and it's going to be the case for a lot of small businesses. Like, it's really easy to politicize it and be like, you know, fucking just make it in America or whatever. And it's like, if you actually know how this shit works, you realize how fried and just insane this whole thing is. And like I said, I think the ultimate goal behind the scenes is to consolidate the economy into the hands of even fewer people than it is already in. So I'm going to be able to survive, hopefully, most likely. I can't say the same for many, 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 many other small businesses who are just getting crushed.
And your privilege is you're in a luxury niche market. So being a boutique brand when you begin, like that's what you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be a mainstream product, right? Or most of us that start, like even Solomon, they make their profit off a running shoe because they had to go mainstream because they outgrew what they did. Same with Armada and what they're creating. And so I don't know, I think you have a great formula. Like I hope you can survive, man, like downsizing and doing that and like being stable and not having debt. Because I think that's probably listening to your story. I would say not having debt is your lane that you created. Because I can't say it's not, it ain't the same with other shit that goes on in skiing.
It's been really, to be honest, like I said that when I postponed the pre-sale, I said I wasn't going to complain and I wasn't going to explain, and I'm sticking by that. But it has been, it's been tough. It's been tough, especially, yeah, I don't know. It just sucks, man. It sucks to be influenced heavily by things completely out of my control.
Yeah,
Like-
it's one thing to fail because you fucked up. It's another thing to basically just be screwed over by something that you couldn't have seen coming, or you know.
And I mean, it's happening in a lot of industries. It's happening in skateboarding where everybody's getting fired, everybody's getting laid off. I mean,
What have the talks with you and Ferdy been like through the chaos? Also, this is going to come out in late October, so I hope we're not dating this podcast too much by, like harping on the current events. But like you and Ferdy throughout this whole thing, he just signed with you last year. So what have your guys' discussions been like?
Freddie's a man. He's really fucking. He's in it for the right reasons. He really loves skiing. He really loves the community aspect. He's just the best example of someone who came from like the competition side of skiing, who built his own company and gives back. And I don't know. He's just the man, and he's been understanding. And you know, I met with him on like May 1st and was like, it's a wrap basically. And he was understanding. And it's just, yeah, he's just with me every step of the way. Like just being a good guy. He's just a good guy.
Ferdy's sick.
He's the man.
You guys in talks for a Ferdy Pro model?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm down. Whatever he wants to do. I can't do it this year, obviously. I can't do any pro model skis this year, but yeah, I'm just blessed to be. It's just lucky to have him a part of the company, and he feels the same way, which is crazy to me. He feels blessed to be a part of Vishnu. I'm like, dude, you're fucking okay. You're like fucking the man, but okay, I got, he's just very grounded and very normal in a good way. So, yeah, he's dope. Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. All right, Iberg, what else you got for him? This is your chance.
I think we should go through questions. Like I picked pretty hard. I'm fucking stoked on everything. I know where he came from. I know where he's at. I know where he's going. I know where he might not know he's going.
Dude, I'm looking through. There's a lot of Ankilla talk in here.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
He's like Voldemort for Iberg now. Iberg doesn't want his name anymore.
I don't think I'd mind like if we had 8 hours, but I just feel like we're blessed with the time you've already given us, like 3-4 hours. Where I'm like, we gave that guy a good.
This has been a recurring theme on me and Emmett's episodes. And Graybill asks, "Do you still vape religiously, Emmett?"
Yeah, my addiction is not a joke. No, yeah, the only time I've ever quit using nicotine since I was 15 years old was both times I tore my ACL. So, and like I was telling you the other day, it was with the patch. So I got a fucking, the gum makes me hiccup and, gives me heartburn really bad. So I got to get back on the patch. It's the only way. The patch makes me really nauseated, but it's like the only way. I gotta stop because once you're 35, you can't really recover. Like if you quit smoking completely by the time you're 35, you're usually good. But anytime past then, you can't really recover like that. So
Fuck. So you're cooked. Let's see what else. People were asking about events. EWAC, would you ever host an event on the East Coast?
sure, what I would really like to do is do like a B&E tour style thing. I think that's really the way that you like cement yourself in the minds of the youth is like going to them in person. So that would be fun to do. We've always talked about that, but then we end up traveling somewhere to ski street instead. But it'd be fun to like go on a tour type deal. I'd like that.
It'd be so sick if you guys did that.
It'd be fun.
People would love that shit, dude.
I think it would renew like my passion even more. Like just going to because every time I've been to other places, other resorts outside of Utah, it's been so fucking fun, dude. Like went to Holiday Valley. It was unbelievably fun. Like just places like that where kids ski there, and it's like where I was growing up, where you ski somewhere and it feels like nobody gives a fuck about you or whatever, and then randomly you just see someone that you just see Cal Carson, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So I'd like to do that. I think that'd be really fun.
All right, and then on the other end of that, Jay Burrows, who actually grew up with that Ski Sundown.
Nice.
If you know Jay, will you do any sponsored Vishnu free ride comps at Alta Ski area?
What did Dylan say in response to that?
Dylan said no.
Okay. Well, if Dylan said it, then that's.
I was actually thinking, like, what after I posted that while I was driving, I'm like, Dylan probably has like power of attorney for Emmett. Like, what if there's a decision that needs to be made, like in this instance? I feel like that's.
Dylan doesn't do whack shit, so
Yeah.
if he says no, then the answer is no.
And he also follows up, what's your favorite thing about Little Cottonwood Canyon and Alta?
I've only ridden there one time. Which one is open on July 4th sometimes? Snowbird?
Snowbird.
Yeah. So I went there on July 4th one time, and I did not have fun at all because I was riding wets and I was skiing with people that are way better than me. And I was just holding on tight the whole fucking day. I thought I was going to die, dude. It was so scary. But, like, I mean, yeah, more power to you if you like going that fast. I don't know, man. I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
I think that's those are the essence of the. You want to do a fuck, marry, kill that somebody sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This was from Reed. Joseph Stalin, Ronald Reagan, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Fuck, marry, kill. Ronald Reagan?
No options.
Yeah, Reagan, Stalin, Napoleon.
I'd kill Reagan. Easily, I'd kill Reagan in his crib.
Baby Reagan.
I would kill Reagan in his crib. I would fuck Napoleon Bonaparte because he seems like a passionate lover. Like his letters to Josephine and shit were like very horny and loving.
Then you marry Stalin.
And then I would marry Joseph Stalin just so I could be close to the throne. But he would end up killing me. He killed everyone. So it doesn't really matter. But I guess I would marry Stalin.
There you have it. Iberg, anything else? Emmett, any questions that you have for us while you're here?
What's the meaning of life, man? Why are we here?
That's a good question.
What's the point?
Well, to wake up and make the most, I say, is to fucking make the opportunity of whatever is in front of you, right? So if there's a problem, then the meaning of life is to fucking solve it. If there's a fucking awesome thing, then it's to celebrate it. And it's to just fucking have the experience while we're having it. And if you can't enjoy the experience because you're going to cry, you're going to laugh, you're going to get hurt, you're going to fucking do it all. But you better enjoy it, man. Because it can end tomorrow.
That's very Jimmy V of you.
How stoned are you 1 to 10 right now?
maybe a 5.
Are those like 70-30s? Like what's the ratio on those things?
Yeah, maybe a 70-30. Just it's organic outdoor and shit, you know? Like it's like drinking Red Bulls nonstop.
Right.
How many? We'll do it while Emmett's still here. How many doobies you smoke while you're on this?
All right, so
approximately
we're
4-hour
at 4
call?
hours. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're at about 3.75 DPH.
That's pretty good.
Dude, I would have to go to the hospital, I think, if I did that.
Iberg, the last time I saw Emmett skiing on skis, he was consuming weed through a dropper.
I needed help, dude. I was
Like he was an elderly woman.
I was so stoned, dude. I was on that the RSO. The RSO like oil shit that comes.
Okay.
Iberg only smokes herb, dude. You can't be expecting him to know this shit.
It comes
No,
in
I did.
Yeah.
I tried one of those things. Like my buddy had a bag where he'd like suck that in, and like would make me cough, and then dabs came into play, and then I was coughing, and I just can't comprehend where it hurts so much. Now I got super high.
Yeah.
Didn't know what was going on, but I don't like to be like that.
I mean, I got this RSO shit. It's like what they give people with cancer, basically. And you take like a pin, like the head of a pin is one dose. And I got stuck in the condo that I was staying in. I got so scared, dude. It was fucking crazy.
Where can I get this?
Any dispensary.
Oh,
RSO.
It comes in like it's scary. It comes in like a scientific, like little like squeezy beaker.
the
thing.
dropper.
Bro.
A vial.
Insane.
I always I tried when it first came out. I went to dispensaries, got them all, drink all the bottles, like, and I think I have a crazy tolerance. And then I try to eat everyone's food, and I've never been able to get high off food.
This is like activated oil, and you like eat it, and then you like forget about it, and then 6 hours later, you're just like, whoa! It's like it's psychedelic almost.
All right, RSO, it's going on the checklist.
Try it, dude. It's good.
No, man, I just want to I want to say it was a pleasure talking to you. It's a pleasure seeing like a face to knowing what you built over a decade. It's a pleasure to know you're still around. It's a pleasure to know the story that you are self-sufficient and moving forward, even though you got the opportunity from a family, it didn't keep providing. You took the opportunity and then fucking sustained it. So that is fucking wicked, because you have to do it in any business you write, right? I do business plans. I need investors. I need to fucking make sure their investment doesn't need more investment, and potentially they get paid back if they're not an angel investor. So it's just your job as a business creator to do what you did, and you've done it, and you're still here.
Well, thanks, man.
So even if it got cut in half this year, you're still here, and you don't owe anyone money. So that alone is your biggest win today when you wake up. So thank you for your 4 hours, man. Time's worth more than money.
I appreciate it. It was nice to meet you.
Emmett, it's always great to talk, dude. I'm glad you got out of your emo rut, even if it was just temporarily. Emmett had said no to this season, and I bribed him. Not bribed him. I twisted an arm. I said, "It's my birthday.
Happy birthday!"
Thank you. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm stoked you did
27.
it. I know you did Ethan's show.
27, dude, is fucking. Let's get up there.
Yeah. We're getting old. It's gonna be the
Ethan,
old
my
man
highlight,
over.
just so you know, I turned 27 when I made a idea, and I was 27 and I had my birthday in the Welches. So you're in my 27th birthday exact spot.
Yeah, true.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, dude, Emmett, I really appreciate it. I wanted you two to meet. It was heartbreaking when you said you couldn't do it, and then you brought it back to life. So
I think you're 27. I don't think you're gonna make it to the league, dude.
Yeah, I think I have to give up my pro hooper dreams, dude.
I think it's a wrap, maybe, but fuck.
All right, bro. We're gonna get you out of here so we can record an outro and get Iberg to go pick up his kids. So
fuck yeah, it's go time.
Good deal.
Pleasure.
Salute.
Thank you, man. Take
Peace
care.
out, dude.
See ya.
Take care. Oh, all right. We already got the DPH. What'd you think of Emmett?
Stoked, man. That's fun. He has a great story.
Yeah.
Like, dope to meet someone from Wisconsin that goes out and creates that, because there's very few, right? Like, we got the Schraub brothers that have done their shit from Wisconsin in our sport. Fucking Matt Sturbins, Hedon County, Illinois, but he's close to the border, at Forefront. So to see a guy from Wisconsin, like, he's kind of like, when I look at it, like the illest in the twin tip generation, because the Schraubs came from the Ariels. So, man, like, where he needs his respect, like, it's pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anyone bigger from Wisconsin than him. I mean, Ryan Schmees, the design guy that went to K2, that did early artwork in our sport. He's another huge Wisconsin person. But fuck, I don't think I'm missing any fucking super icons. But yeah, I mean, Alex Applegate, fucking whoever, big up Midwest All Stars.
Hornbeck's lit.
Oh, Hornbeck's Michigan.
Oh, true. You're thinking, Wisconsin only, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what he did coming from the Milwaukee area and making this big an impact on twin tip skiing is humongous.
Yeah. It's sick. It is like I'm going to go up to Timberline right after this. Rain stopped and everyone's riding Vishnus. But since you're near Portland, there's a lot of O3Ps up here. But you go down to Mammoth, tons of Vishnus. You go anywhere, there's tons of Vishnus. So he undeniably has had a gigantic impact on skiing. And I'm glad he's living to see another day, because it's crazy how close they were to shutting down.
Yeah, stoked he's keeping going.
Yeah. All right.
We got Marie tomorrow.
Yeah, finally. Keep on pushing it. Hopefully we're good to go with it, but it'll be sick.
All right, man. Well, have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Yep. See you, everybody. Peace.